All right, we are live now. Live on Twitch for session 3. Whoop whoop. Right, we are live now. Live on Twitch.
War's gonna take her little eagle beak clackers and clack at the audience.
Okay, we have our new Adventure HQ here, so I know that this is different than the landing screen that the rest of you saw in sessions 1 and 2. So it's your nice own adventure headquarters here. It's a whole house, so you can move your tokens and explore it as much as you want here. But in the meantime, while we get all set up. So for those who are watching on Twitch, or if you're watching on YouTube here, this is session 3 of Descent into Avernus. I'll put up a new video with a recap of session 1 and 2 for you at some point. But one of the things you'll learn that we like to do at the beginning of every session is I have all the players roll a flat d20, and whoever rolls the lowest has to recap the last session. So we have already rolled here, and it looks like Honed, who is played by Nate, is going to do our recap for us. So Nate will give us a recap from Hone's perspective of what happened last session, and if it doesn't make sense to you as the viewers, don't worry, I'll have that recap video up when I get to it here. But Hone, if you want to go ahead whenever you're ready, and go ahead and give us your recap.
Okay, the beginning of our last adventure there, we started off where the LTRL used to be. It was just a smoking hole. It was snowing ash. We could hear crying and praying off in the distance. We made our way down the pathway, or the trail, and seen a caravan. They were helping the survivors. There's 3 people there. There's a young girl, an older dude with his goat. The young girl, Daria, she seemed to be in control of the situation there with the going ons. And the older man, Gorgon, I believe is his name. He told us about a mill and a smithy that were relatively close to go and get supplies from. Me and Craigle, we went to the mill, or we were going to the mill, with the rest of our adventurers heading off to the smithy. Me and Craigle, on our way to the mill, we ran into Ippin and her assistant Pal, which is a great guy. We sent them on their way to the caravan to meet up with everybody else. They had a wagon full of stuff, supplies. We went to the mill, loaded up, went back to the caravan. We did, I believe, it's two trips. When we got back from our second trip, the guy from the smithy, I gotta think of what his name is. Willem, I believe it was. Yep. He was there and told us that the rest of our adventurers have went on to where they ended up going into the woods. There was a young girl that came out of the woods asking for help, and they went to help her. Well, help her, quotes around the her, because she came back to the caravan with Willem. And me and Craigle, we made our way to the smithy and seen where War made the trail for us to follow them. And we caught up to them. They were in a chapel. And in that chapel, there was I guess it's sort of like a trapdoor that we stumbled across, and we came across some where am I now? Right here. Some people, cultists. They were they're doing some summoning and chanting. From what we understood is Zelriel. We ended up killing them all, and they ended up summoning a demon, and we killed that demon as well. And we retrieved the stolen weapons, and we made our way back to the caravan. I
Awesome.
believe that's where we finished off.
Perfect. Great recap. Awesome job, Nate. So, yeah, that is where you ended up, was at the caravan, and you were deciding what to do next. Because there were two other tasks that you were given that you could do to help the caravan. So, yeah, why don't we jump right in then? So I am going to switch our scene. So you are all currently at the caravan. Five of you, War, Belron, Honed, Craggle, and Igvis. You were just planning to head north towards the house of someone named Billiam, who Pal had mentioned. You should go check out and convince him to join the caravan because he's a poet and that he could be of good use. As you guys just start walking out of the caravan, behind you runs a person, a humanoid. And I will share with you what that person here looks like. So they come up running and they start waving you down. So, Jared, if you want to describe for us what your character looks like and what you say.
Yeah. Okay. So, Neil, he's very pale, white hair, very pale skin, whitish pink eyes. Stands about 5'5", 5'6" ish, around 130 pounds. Um, Wearing what you can see in the picture if you're looking at it. He has a very worn gray coat, with a brown button-down shirt underneath, some pants and some boots. Um, he looks at you guys very nervously, and he'll say, "So, are you guys on the way to recruit the poet? I heard about. Thought you guys might like some accompaniment.
Can you
Yeah.
fight?
I'm good with a bow and arrow. Yeah.
Is Neil actually brandishing his weapon in the image, or is he just running up with no weapon brandished?
No weapon brandish. It's just
Okay.
the image.
Be very threatening otherwise.
Oh, well, War was about to start shit if he actually had his weapon brandished, so
Fair enough.
that's why I need to make sure that there's no actual weapon there. So no, War just kind of glares and looks to Craggle to see what do we need to do.
I mean, the more the merrier. We're just a poet, but who knows what else we'll find in this town at this point.
Yeah, last time we dealt with a demon. I guess more hands wouldn't hurt.
Welcome to the crew. You said your name was Neil?
Yeah, you guys mentioned a demon?
Probably not a demon. Probably more of a devil. But yeah, there's some strange stuff going on in this town.
Yeah, I'll for sure accompany with you. I can speak infernal if that helps you guys in any way.
Could come in handy. I'm Craggle. This is my band. I'll point to the very brightly colored tiefling and the short, well, I guess you're not short, but the hobgoblin and the bearded human. And then we're members of the Flaming Fists. We're running errands for the caravan, so welcome to the crew.
Oh, you guys are with the Flaming Fist too? Oh, sorry. The name's Neil. Neil Paleblood. Yeah, it was actually with the Flaming Fist too. I was stationed in Baldur's Gate, but they recently just transferred me to Elturel, and by the time I got here, well, I think you guys know the story.
Do you have your badge on display?
Yeah, I have it on my I'd say like right shoulder.
Okay, gotcha. So you'll see that Craggle also has an emblem denoting him as a gauntlet, so just a rank above everyone else who's a fist here.
Okay. Alright, I'm a fist, so.
Okay.
I'll give my normal little bow and say, "Welcome aboard, brother."
Happy to be with fellow fists.
Yeah, I ain't a fist, mate, but happy to meet you. I'm Belron, and I say to him in Infernal, I say, I think you might be of use to us, hopefully.
And I will play Infernal. Thanks. I'm just really good with the bow and arrow. Not much else.
Oh, that's plenty useful.
The more the merrier, man. Welcome aboard.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go get a poet.
Awesome.
I hope he's like Pal.
I don't.
And you hear Pal, off in the distance, down here by this caravan as you continue walking north. And he says, "Thank you, everybody. I'm really happy that you're gonna go get Billiam. He's gonna be a really great use to the caravan, isn't he, Ipum?" And then you hear Ipum, look at Billiam and say, "Be quiet, pal. All right, we have a lot of supplies here that we need to log. Jeez, do you ever stop talking?"
Every group needs a pal.
All right.
Pretty sure under everybody's breaths, it's no, he doesn't.
All right.
What race is Neil?
Ooh, Neil is a shifter.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I am going to
How are you guys rotating your tokens?
move maps here.
To answer your question, it's control and scrolling your middle mouse wheel when you have your
Cool.
token selected.
Thank you.
You can also do shift. It'll move a little bit more.
Okay.
Teaching them the secret tech.
So you can all see the new map.
It's loading for me still, but I'll
Yeah.
get there.
It's still loading.
Loading. 98%.
Cool.
It
Well,
seems
while
to
that's
like sitting at
while that's
98%.
loading for you, it's not too far of a walk. So probably 25, 30-minute walk. For you to get over to where Billiam's house would be. And when you get here, I mean, the ash is still heavily falling in the area. There's a small well to the left of the house. And you see just a little small front porch there with a door. And the door is currently closed. So when that map loads for you and you can see that, just let me know what you want to do.
Oh, you're right. Shift goes way faster.
So if does that not sound like ominous background music to y'all as well?
Well, what? Do you always hear music, War?
I think
I
if
do.
you hear music, you might need to get something checked, mate.
Yeah, you should.
I live my life to a magical score that only I can hear. And this score tells me that it's time to go and inspect the woods while you guys go in that house to make sure there's nothing else lurking.
You say you're checking out the well.
Woods. So I'm gonna go.
Oh.
I'll probably go with War just so she's not alone, just in case there is something.
Craggle
I'll
will
check
kinda
out the well alone, because I'm sure
shake
it's
his head.
100% safe.
and walk towards the door.
I'll go with you there, Craigle.
Same. I'll go Balron.
I'll first listen at the door.
Roll me a perception check, Craggle. Belron, you too. Roll me a perception check.
Does War need a perception check?
Yeah, you can roll me one too, War.
Oh, no.
Nice. Someone cut in that one already.
At
Yeah.
least it's not in combat.
Yeah, Craggle, you don't hear anything. You don't hear anything coming from the door. You're a little distracted, as you walk up to the door, and you're kind of focused on what Belron is looking at over there by the well.
Is there like a window up by this front door?
There is no window by the front door.
Okay, could I listen at the door?
Yeah, sure. Roll me a perception. And Belron, did you give me a perception?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm on push to talk. It didn't come up, but I got a 16.
All right, cool. So Honed, as you listen to the front door, you hear some scurrying around inside. So there's definitely somebody moving inside. No voices, but someone's moving inside. So you definitely think somebody's home. Belron, down at the bottom of that well, you have dark vision, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So as you look down that well, you see water, a thin layer of water at the bottom of the well, at the edge of your dark vision, and it seems like there's a gleam in the water. Something is gleaming, like there's an object down there in the water.
Roughly how big?
About a foot in diameter.
Oh, so it's kind of large. Well, I'll motion to Neil. I'll say, hey, there's something shiny down there, but probably not important right now. Maybe we come back and look at it later.
I have some rope. If we can come back, we can probably try something, maybe.
Sounds like a plan, mate. Then I'll walk over to the cabin.
It sounded like I heard scurrying around in here, so there is at least one person in there.
Scurrying? Like, did it sound like people or like spiders?
What, are you afraid of a little bit of spiders?
No, the only thing I'm afraid of is fiends.
All I heard is scurrying. I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's anything arachnid or whatnot.
Well, we expected someone to be here, so that's actually good to hear.
Yeah, let's knock on the door, not just knock it down.
War, are you done playing in the woods?
I rolled a 20 and I haven't heard what the 20 got me.
Oh yeah, you don't see anything of note down there, War.
Oh. Okay.
I'll go ahead and knock on the door.
No bees.
Alright, so you knock at the door. And as soon as you knock at the door, it sounds, now you can clearly hear, it sounds like somebody fumbles inside. Like almost as if they were taken aback by you knocking at the door. And after a moment, the door opens.
On its own,
I
or
can't see.
And behind the door
oh god,
is a man.
Is it supposed to still block my vision? Because I still can't see
It
through the door.
is not supposed to block your vision.
That's odd.
That is odd, but let's do that.
There you go. Now you got it.
Yeah, that did it.
And that was interesting. You know, I wonder. Oh, you know what? That was weird. It was a different type of wall. Okay, let's try that. You can see now?
No, not anymore. It was, but now it's gone.
Interesting.
But to role play a little bit, I'll immediately, as soon as he opens the door, I'm gonna do my kind of typical, where I put my hands into my sleeves in front of me and give a little bow. Greetings. I'm Craggle. This is my band. We were here to inquire as to if Billiam is available to speak.
Yes, I am Billiam. You are Craggle, you say?
That's correct.
And you see in front of you, I will share the figure that stands in front of you.
I can see in the house now.
All right, perfect. So there is a later years human who wears a smart blue tunic. He looks pretty tired, pale, and scrawny, yet somehow he still has this like regal air about him. And he says, "Yes, Craggold, you say. What would you like, Craggold?"
Well, I'm sure you know something terrible has happened to El Terrell. We're gathering a caravan and moving as many people as we can to the safety of Baldur's Gate. Your friend, Pal, seemed to really want you to join and asked us to see if you might be interested in coming along. I understand you're a poet and could be a good opportunity for some grand adventures for your writings.
Yes, I know of Pal. Yes, he asked me before, but I just don't know. I don't know because this is my home, and I know strange things are going on. But I am a writer. I need my space in my own home to do my writing. I don't know. It's a very tough decision. Give me a persuasion check, Craggle.
All right, that's what I'm good at. Oh wait, not yet. I don't have my beguiling influence yet. I'm still good at it.
So he says, "But you look like a decent fellow, and you have decent friends here. I see you could probably use of my service. You must need a chronicler. So I will come. I will join you. But first I need a couple of things. See, I am a poet, as I said, and words are my life, and writing is my life, and I seem to be out of ink and paper. So if you could fetch some paper and ink for me, very close by, I would be very appreciative while I pack. You see."
I saw something down the well. I don't know if that's ink or paper. It was shiny though.
No, of course no ink or paper would be in the well. The paper would get wet and the ink would just flow into the water. You see, so that would not be a good place for ink and paper. No, that would not be it.
I'm not much of a writer, mate. But did you throw some shit down the well? What's down there, mate?
There should be nothing in the well as far as I am aware except water.
Insight check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Roll me insight. Yeah, you
17.
You don't seem to get any hint that he's being deceitful to you in any way.
He doesn't think there's anything down there, Balaron, was there?
I mean, I saw something shiny. I also got a 20. I just realized my extension wasn't on, so my rolls should show up now. But I got a dirty 20. 18 plus 2.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, you don't think that he's being insincere in any way.
I'll say, alright, well, he seems to be telling the truth, but there's something shiny down there. It's probably not ink or paper, because I didn't know paper could get wet. I don't know. I'm not a fucking writer like this knob. But I suppose we just continue on, try and find some paper for the bookworm.
Where do you suppose we would find these supplies you need?
Oh, well, there's a bunch of trees. Could we just, like, cut one down, put some spit on it a bit, and, like, make some, like, is that how
Doesn't
paper's
quite
made?
work like that, unfortunately.
He says, "I know where you can get paper. I use a very special kind of paper. It feels great beneath my quill. About 100.5 pages or so should do. I know you can get them from Tilly Sky. Tilly Sky, she runs a shop. It's not too far. You continue on down the road and you'll come to a very small village, and there is a shop called Open Skies. Tilly Sky runs it, and she sells the only paper for me, the only paper that I can use, the great William, to write these stories. You go to Tilly and you get the paper from her."
Are you gonna provide payment for this paper?
Of course, of course. You go, you grab the paper, and I pay you whatever money you need for the paper.
And is there anything else you need while we're away?
Yes, yes. As I mentioned, I also I need the ink. You know, paper is no good without ink to write with. You know, a cluster of gal nuts and a handful of caroba berries should do. You can go to Emrin's Grove. It's literally just over that way. And he'll point over to the east of the map and this way into the woods. And he says, "You follow that trail in the woods, a small trail, 5-minute walk. 5-minute walk into the woods, and you'll come across a small grove. And in the grove, you'll find trees that will hold the gal nuts and the caroba berry bushes. And just a cluster of the gal nuts and a handful of the caroba berries, and that should be good enough."
Do you have a berry and a nut so that we know what we're looking for?
Well, that, but also Craggle will reach into his pouch on his hip and pull out one of his 1-ounce bottles of ink. He has 2 of them. Will this suffice?
Roll me a persuasion check.
I clicked the wrong button. Persuasion. Damn it.
He says, "No, you see, I use very special ink of my own formula and my own design. You know, the gal nuts and the caroba berries, you mix them just right. You get the perfect potency for writing, and it just sticks to the paper as I write."
Craggle will roll his eyes and put his ink bottle back. Fine. Pal's gonna owe us big for this, he mutters to Igvis.
That what he always.
Is there anything else, Billiam?
No, I think that will be it. I shall gather my things and everything else that I need for the journey while you fetch the paper and ink, and when you return, I should be ready to go.
All right. Anybody
Which way
else?
was the store again? Because you said the bushes, the trees and stuff are this way.
Yeah, to the east, you can find through the trees and through that path. And then if you continue down the road to the west, so if you went back the way you came from towards the bottom of the map, there would be a little road. And if you headed west to the left of the map, you would come eventually to a village, he says, which is where Open Skies is, run by Tilly Sky.
Okay.
I'm
So-
concerned about Billiam's well-being just because there's that object at the bottom of the well and he doesn't know about it. So obviously somebody put it there, and more than likely they're going to be coming back for it.
Well, we can investigate what it is.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fair.
let's do that.
Somebody said they have rope. I'll wait for you guys.
Wait.
Neil said he had some rope.
Yeah, guys, I have some rope.
So while that conversation was going down, War was just hanging out at the bottom of the stairs, picking her teeth with her glaive. So we're picking up stuff for the dude.
Yes.
All right.
He
While
needs
you
to-
guys investigate the well, can I go get the berries and the nuts?
Well, after the last encounter, I'm pretty adverse to splitting us up again.
All right. War will mosey over.
Quick question for the DM: did we get a long rest between now and last
You
session?
did
or-
not. It has still been the exact same day that it was in session 1 and session
It's-
2.
This
It's
is
been
the
a
longest
very
day.
busy day. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank God exhaustion doesn't count to skill checks, just ability checks.
All right.
I do have a question. With the well this size, do I think I could just fly down there? Since I do have a fly speed. Wouldn't even need a rope.
Yeah, if you could probably fly down there if you wanted to.
Cool. I'll just jump down and fly down then.
Whoa.
All right, and what does that look like for Igvis? I mean, your wings are what? They're pretty tiny, right?
They're not huge. They're kind of like almost like the length of my arm, but they're bat wings. And so when he sprawls them out, it's essentially like he has two sets of arms, almost looking like, and then he just dives straight down.
Cool. So as you get to the bottom of the well, you splash into the water, and the water's not very deep. It's maybe 1.5 feet deep, so this object is just under the surface of the water. And you notice that it seems to be a round, glassy orb of some kind.
A glassy orb, you say?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just try and lift it then. And bring it back out, if possible.
Yeah, you go to lift it, and it moves, no problem. And as you take it out of the water, it has this this greenish emerald hue to it. But yeah, other than that, it looks like a glass.
I think it changed your mic there, Dian.
Ah, can you still hear me?
Okay,
Yes.
now we're good.
Okay. But I was saying it looks like it's you know, has this greenish hue to it. You know, like if you threw it onto the ground, it might actually break on you. You know, it looks rather fragile.
Okay. So then I'll cradle it then and fly it right back up and just bring it right here. Be like, hey guys, this is what was there. Anybody know what it is?
So it's just green. Could I Arcana check it?
Sure. Give me an Arcana check.
That was my initial thought, but I'm like, I'm not smart, so
16.
Yeah, so you've heard of this. You know, you recognize the kind of the green swirling hue that's in it, and you look underneath, kind of as you're like looking around the orb. You see on the one side of the orb are a couple arcane symbols that you recognize, and you know, the arcane symbols are symbols for warding, and you identify this as what's called an orb of shielding, which is a magical item. And you know, this orb specifically can be used as a spellcasting focus, and it's usually aligned to one of the planes of existence. And when you're holding the orb and you take damage of an associated type associated with the orb, you can actually use mechanically, you can use a reaction to reduce the damage by 1d4. So specifically, this is made of Kythurian Skarn, which is acid and poison. So
Ooh.
when you use this and you're holding that orb, and you take acid or poison damage, you can use your reaction to reduce it by 1d4, is mechanically how it works. And I'll type that Kythrian Skarn in the chat there.
I
Well,
gotcha.
I do already have
Oh.
a focus, but that would be a pretty nice upgrade to my focus that I have.
Oh, so you actually know what this thing is and can use it?
Oh, okay. I relay all that to everyone. Yes, it's a Kythrian Skarn orb. It will provide resistance to poison and acid, and it can be used as a spellcasting focus. And I'll pull out my emerald gem out of my pouch, much like this is for me.
Gotcha.
This is just a normal focus, though. It doesn't offer the warding effects that does.
Is anybody else here a spellcaster that might be able to use it? Just curious, mostly.
I
Nope.
will be next level,
Okay.
but
As will
it's
I.
no good for me, to be honest.
I think you're the only one who can use it for now, so sure. I'll just hand it over to Craggle.
Does it require attunement?
It does.
Okay. So I will start attuning to it as we walk on.
Did that send it in the chat there for everybody when I
Yes.
linked it? Okay. For some reason, it says it's coming from Ignis, which is weird. But
That's what I thought too. I'm like, I didn't do that.
Nice. Do I have to add that to my D&D inventory somehow?
I
you
would.
should be able to add it on your character sheet. If you can't, I can add it for you.
Remove shielding.
Okay.
Well, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, good find.
Thanks.
All right. So let's start with these nuts and berries, and then head off to the store.
Yeah, I feel the nuts and berries will be the simplest trip.
We said we were splitting the party, right?
Last time we did that, we had to deal with a devil.
No, I think it's a bad idea to split the party because of that.
Oh, right.
But I mean, it is right there. But then we just have to. You would have to catch up to us to the other location too. So yeah, no, let's just go for these berries.
More eyes looking for him, right?
Right, perfect. I am going to switch maps again here. So when that loads, you should be able to see that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you head down the path and you come to kind of a little fork in the road there, and headed to the north up this way in the fork in the road. You definitely see some trees, and hanging from the trees, you definitely see some clusters of gal nuts, which Billiam described. And if you were to continue on down this path here, you can kind of see in your limited vision a couple bushes that Billiam described would hold Karoba berries. Give me anybody can go ahead and give me a wisdom check, nature. So nature check if you have it.
I have a +0. I guess I'll just roll it though. Yeah.
Wow.
Those are some pretty stellar rolls.
Good thing we don't know what these berries look like.
Ooh, nice.
We got one.
So, Belron, everybody's kind of like, I think those might be the berries down there. But Belron, you definitely recognize the Karoba berries within some of these bushes that are down this trail. And, if you went a little bit more around the corner, you could see that these bushes have these thorns on them. So down here, or where those bushes are. They have these thorns surrounding the berries, so you just need to be careful when you pluck the berries, because the thorns themselves you recognize as a poisonous plant.
All right. I'll relay that back to the party. And then, is there any way that I can kind of hack at the bushes and slash the thorns off? Or
Yeah, the thorns are kind of interweaving with the bush, so you could hack at the bush, but it's not really going to make too much of a dent. It's just a thicket of thorns. You think that this is more of something that would require more dexterity, to kind of weave around the thorns and kind of pluck the berries out.
all right, I'm the exact opposite of dexterous. So I'll look back at all my friends, be like, "Hey, flaming fist guys, there's the berries are on this bush here, some poisonous thorns. I'm not exactly nimble fingered. Anyone want to give it a go?"
Yeah, Yeah, I grew up in the forest. I
Yeah.
can give it a shot.
I can try to.
Just would that be sleight of hand or?
Yeah, so give me a sleight of hand check.
Alrighty. Not bad.
Yeah,
They
perfect.
gather
So,
all the berries.
Igvis and Neil, you are able to gather, more than a handful of Karoba berries that you just gather up, and you're like, look, guys, I can get around these thorns, no problem. What are thorns? No, you're able to manage to grab a couple pouches worth of berries, 3 times really as much as William asked for.
This will keep him quiet for a while, I hope.
Hopefully.
Alright, and now walnuts.
I don't want to interrupt, but I have as a ranger, I have natural explorer, and my favored is forest. Would that help at all with anything in here?
Can you link Natural Explorer for me?
How do I link stuff? Sorry.
So in your character sheet, you should be able to open up your the description of your feature. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, sweet. Okay. I don't know if that helped with anything, but figured I'd say it.
Wisdom checks.
Okay, better than nothing.
Intelligence and wisdom checks. Your proficiency bonus is doubled. Goddamn.
That's pretty
Nice.
pretty nice.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Sorry, still pretty new.
Yeah, so nothing on that particular check. I mean, you managed to grab a couple more Karoba berries than Igvis is able to. You're able to point out kind of the stream has been started. Everybody is logged in. So it looks like we're good to go.
Godspeed.
So we'll cross our fingers. All right.
War again, make sure to go clack clack with the owl beak. So every time they log in, they know they're being clacked at.
All right. So where were we? So you had just grabbed some berries from some thorns, and then you were making your way up that northern path.
I'll throw one last thing out there out of character. One more note on his proficiency terrain thing. When foraging, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
Heck yeah.
So he probably found twice as many berries there.
There you go. You
Very
got
cool.
twice as many berries as Igvis did. So Igvis was able to get like 2 handfuls, but you got 4 handfuls. You're not sure how you're carrying 4 handfuls, but you were able to find 4 handfuls.
Spilling out my
His
pocket.
ranger skills also give him 2 extra arms, so.
Yeah.
But only in the forest. They just come out of him as soon as he walks by a tree.
And just in the forest.
The second I leave, I instantly become weaker, shrivel up and die.
Your arms just fall off.
You'll
Ugh.
grow new ones. It's like a lizard's tail, right?
I lose 80 pounds of muscle mass and I get slightly dumber. Oh god.
It's alright, I'm sitting at an 8, so. Dumb boys standing together.
Ooh, at least I'm a 10.
Oh, okay, yeah. Make me feel stupid.
All right. What are you doing here?
Your mic changed again.
Your mic
and,
changed again, but I
would
think
you
we're
mind
headed
not bugging
north.
us?
Oh no, my mic changed again?
No, you're
Oh, no,
back
you're
now.
good.
You're good now.
Okay, all right.
But we're headed north.
Headed north.
It's still showing paused for me.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah, I'm good.
You might need to refresh, maybe.
Alright.
Yeah, the game is unpaused.
Well, once the screen loads, War would like to take her glaive and see if she can't knock down some branches that are heavy with nuts.
Awesome. War, since you're up there, since you're going up there and you want to knock those down, can you give me a perception check when you roll on up there to the trees?
Yes. In just a second, opening D&D Beyond. More. Medium. Almost there. Perception. 13.
13, yeah. So when you get up there and you're just about to whack the tree to shake some of these nuts down, you notice towards the base of the tree are several wasp nests. And you'd think that just knocking on the tree like that would most definitely disturb those wasps.
How big are these wasps?
They look like normal wasp nests, you know, as far as you can tell, normal sized wasp nests. So not like
Do you guys
monstrous
wa-
wasps or anything like that.
Do you guys just want me to fly up there and grab them? I could toss them down to you.
Yeah, do you need like a boost or something? Oh, you just fly right on up.
I can just fly.
That's so cool. Why am I the lame tiefling?
You can cast spells. I just have wings.
In another level.
How many nests are there? Is it like they're all throughout there, or is it just like there's a nest?
Yeah, they're all throughout the tree. So there's
Okay.
a bunch of trees, and just all around the base of the trees, it's like almost a wasp grove.
I want so badly to start shit, but I feel like I probably shouldn't. So, War takes a deep sigh of discontent and signals to Igvis. It's all yours, buddy.
I'm in. Okay. And then I'll just fly up then and collect nuts, and as I do, I'll throw them to War because she's the one who wanted them anyway.
All right.
Walk up to Neil and I'll say, "Hey, do those little buzzy things make honey, or is it the other ones?"
Yeah, yeah, those ones will. They'll just hurt you. They don't. They're not particularly good for much.
They're just assholes then.
Pretty much. They just kill the good ones. Honeymakers.
So
That's
Igvis, you're able to fly up no problem to the top of the trees and gather yourselves some gal nuts from the tree. So no problem for you with your wings.
Yeah, and I'll try and collect as many of these as we have berries, I guess. I'll just keep throwing them to War until I've cleared off like maybe 3 branches worth.
Yeah, they grow in like clusters. You can tell very clearly they grow in these like little pouches and clusters. And you remember Billiam had asked for a cluster of gal nuts, so you know you're able to easily pick off one of those clusters and feel pretty good that you have enough gal nuts for Billiam.
All right, you got him. I guess we can go.
War is not amused about being hit with nuts by Igvis.
You wanted them. And then I'll just fly overhead so she can't hit me with her spear.
Really quick, DM, did you say the berries were poisonous, or am I imagining things?
No, so they were in a nestle of thorns, and the thorns were poisonous. So you had to kind of
Gotcha.
get through the thorns to get the berries.
Gotcha. Sorry, thank you.
All right, you guys have some nuts and berries.
Should
we
we just
head
drop
back?
these off since we're passing by his house to get to the other place anyway?
Might as well.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll head back to the Billiam's house to drop that off before we head to the shop.
Yeah, once the map loads, everything loads so much faster.
Can you
For the
now
first
see
time.
through that door too?
Nope.
No.
That's so weird. It's set up as a door, just like any other door.
Yeah, all of them have worked to this point, but
There it is.
There it is.
The door was closed. I opened it.
It was open before, but anyway.
Well, it's weird.
Everybody's
Good
just
now.
flipping it.
Well, I was just flipping it because if I put it here,
Well, see, now
then
it's
it stops
open, but
working.
black. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Right.
still loading in.
that's very, very strange here.
So we'll get his attention. Billiam, we have your nuts and berries.
Thank you for the nuts and berries. I can make my ink now. My very potent ink.
We'll be back with your pens
Paper.
or paper. Yeah, that's right. I was like, what did he want?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
we'll be back
paper,
with your
the paper
too.
from Tilly Sky, from Open Skies. The best paper in all the realms.
Riveting. Be back soon.
Onward. I like how you just deleted the door. You're just like, screw the door. I'm done
Yeah,
with
I was just like, it's gone. It's not working for whatever reason.
Neil, are you able to move?
No, I'm still loading in.
Oh. Just in time for us to change.
it. I was gonna say, you're about to be loading again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just about.
Neil decided to shift into a tree and just stay there.
Alright, let's put you guys on this map.
Don't want to leave the floors, guys.
I
Where
dropped
are
you
we
first,
relative?
Neil, on this map, so, you can load quicker.
Where are we relative to the crater?
So the crater is Elturel itself. So when you left the caravan, you were headed north. Elturel was to the northeast. So, I mean, you're probably a good couple hours journey back to
Okay.
where Elturel actually is.
Okay, gotcha.
How far away from the fabled Fawn Inn are we?
The Fabled Fawn Inn was to the northeast towards Elturel, so you're probably the same distance here to the Fabled Fawn as you would be from the camp to the Fabled Fawn, so probably an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to know if we're heading towards it or not.
I remember saying it was gonna take a while for us to get there, which is why we were leaving it for last.
Can you all see this map now?
Not yet, 98%.
Mine just loaded in.
Yep.
So as while you guys are kind of loading in, so you
I'm
come
in.
across this this little tiny
Jesus.
village. It's a village with maybe 5 or 6 buildings in it, and they're all kind of run down. You specifically note Open Skies, which has a picture of a cloud on the front. Very clearly has a sign that says Open Skies, but it looks like the place is boarded up from the inside, and there is a parchment on the door, and the parchment reads "Closed indefinitely due to infernal incidents." And that's what you see as you come up. You also hear some crackling and energy coming from the building itself, and you can kind of see through these windows that have been hastily boarded from the inside.
And so I do see that swirling mess of fucking chaos. Is that right?
You see what you see.
Okay.
You
That's
can see
catching-
this
that's catching my
swirling bluish energy.
Yeah, I
from
could see
inside.
right around here. I can see right around here.
Yeah,
So,
and as you
like, can I
get up
peek in
there-
between the boards?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And as you get up there, you notice that there is a swirling blue mass of energy that is arcing little bits of electricity, and it's hovering like 10 feet above the ground, just hovering there.
There's some weird stuff going on in there, guys. I'm not sure about this one.
Make me an Arcana check.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Yeah.
We came for paper.
So when you look inside, you definitely think that this is the result of some sort of magical ward or an enchantment gone wrong. So somebody was trying to cast a protection spell of some sort, and it backfired, and this is the result. You think that thing is probably pretty dangerous. You think that it's pretty chaotic and unstable, so it's not something that you can easily time. But based on kind of looking at it and its reach, you think that it doesn't quite reach the edges inside. So you think if you stayed to like the edges while you were inside, you could probably avoid it, but you'd have to be like really careful about it.
You
If
guys
you
think
got
it's
too
worth this
close
to get
that
paper?
thing, it would
Are
probably
these
hurt.
windows on the side of it?
Yeah. Yep.
Are the windows glassed, or can I get through them?
They are like boarded up, but not very well, like hastily. So you could, bust out the boards if you wanted and try to climb through the window.
Yeah. Warren
Or-
most certainly wants to rip out the panel around the window and go into the side.
Just stay away from the center. Keep to the edges, okay?
But it's so pretty.
Just don't touch it, please.
You can absolutely do that, War. And no check needed. You're able to just rip off these boards and climb through that window. And the rest of you just see War do this, right? War kind of goes around the side, and any of you who peek around the side, you just see War just going to town at this window. And if you're looking through the front windows of the front door, you see War just pop inside through that window.
I feel like Craggle's gotten a real feel for War's go get 'em attitude at this point. So, alright, have fun.
So I am
don't
in.
touch it.
So War's gonna holler out, "Y'all, I'm inside, and I see what looks like a mound of paper in that far corner. So if y'all are down, I'm gonna grab it and get the fuck out of here."
Good plan. Just
Get him
don't,
go.
just don't
Alright.
touch the orb.
Going up to that corner to grab all the paper that looks like it's on the floor.
All right, sounds good. So you start gathering up the paper, and you realize that William asked for over 100 pieces of paper. And they're everywhere. And, a lot of that paper, there's pieces that are, torn and, ruined. And if you're looking for, paper that's really usable, you feel it's going to take you a little while to actually gather that from all around the room. But after maybe 10 minutes or so, you're able to gather enough paper, and you're far enough away from this orb that it doesn't really bother you. But you do notice while you're in there that these arcs of lightning shoot out, and they attack a bunch of different things on the ground. So a broken down table will just get an arc of electricity that breaks it in half, and then you see one that licks the back wall, near kind of where you were. But you managed to basically avoid all of that by going through the window and rounding up the paper.
I want to take a hunk of furniture that looks damaged and throw it to the other side of the room to see what happens.
Oh my god.
Okay, so are you trying to
We're
throw
playing
it
with
to
it.
the describe how you're throwing it? Are you throwing it through the orb, or are you just trying to throw it around the orb to the other side of the room, or?
I'm trying to ping the area that I'm trying to hit. I am not successful ping. So the third square from the bottom of the far left. So not quite through the center of the orb, kind of through. Yeah, a little bit further up, where Zach is.
Gotcha, right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, so you go and you give me a dex attack roll. Give me an attack roll.
Okay.
Dex.
Do unarmed strike.
Yeah, sure, that'll work. Give me an unarmed strike.
14.
Yeah, so you throw this this. It was a chair you were throwing, or a table?
I get a hunk of whatever furniture is near me,
All right.
so I can see a stool there.
Yes.
Like a table leg or
Yeah, so you grab the stool. You're able to grab this stool and you kind of throw it over there. And as it like passes through this like arc of electricity and the orb, you know, a bolt comes out and basically snaps the thing in half, and a small fire starts. You know, in that corner of the room.
Free torch.
Nope.
And you can all
This
see
whole
this
building
now
is
too
about
if
to
you're
be a
looking
torch.
looking inside. You can see like, you know, this fire start on this stool that's just been hit by this arc of electricity.
War. You're gonna light up the whole building.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the window I came out of and kind of jump out and present the commander with the paper that I've got from inside.
All right, sounds good.
Ugh.
You're able to do that.
Craggle's gonna barely stifle a smile, but be like, "Gosh, you're kind of crazy, you know."
Oh, we got our paper.
Yeah.
What's next,
John.
sir?
Now we head back and get this so-called poet.
It is interesting that as you move your token closer to the orb, you hear it crackling with more lightning.
Yeah, I have it set up that way on purpose, so it's distance
It's
related.
proximity. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Was there anything else in there? Was it just an empty room?
I mean,
War's gonna go ahead, DM.
Perception check.
I was just gonna say, I mean, yeah, Ward just kind of went in there and was looking for the paper and threw a stool and got out. But I mean, Ward didn't notice
so-
anything specific other than what Ward saw.
Hearing that question from the commander, War's gonna hop back in the window real quick and do a perception check
Yeah,
and make sure that there wasn't something she was supposed to perceive while she was in there. If I can get my little quickie, there we go. And perception. 4 and 11.
Yeah, so Ward jumps back in and looks around, but you don't notice anything else of note. It looks like a bomb hit this place. What you do notice is that that fire is starting to get a little bit bigger. It's now like caught a couple of the loose papers on the ground, you know, which have caught a couple of the littler pieces of wood on fire. So that fire is definitely growing.
Okay. And then War is going to pop right back out and tell Commander, nope, there's nothing else in there other than the fire I started.
Oh god, okay, let's just get out of here.
Know what they say, get rid of the evidence, right?
If she was here, she was probably dead now.
All right, and we'll switch over back to Billiam's house.
We're gonna come back
And-
in like 20 sessions, and there's just gonna be a floating orb around a bunch of charred remains. Like, what happened here? I don't know.
And as you, you know, as you're walking away, you can actually see the fire start to come out the windows a little bit. That has clearly grown as you're like walking away from the village.
And that we don't look at. We just.
War feels absolutely no guilt about this. So War, like, why would we look back at this? We did our thing, we got the stuff, we finished our task, let's go.
I mean, we just may have started a forest fire, but it's fine. We're leaving.
No, Tyr only knows who started that. We don't know.
I'll knock. Billiam, we have your paper.
Yes, you'll have the paper. Let me see. And he'll like beckon.
I'll hand him the stack that we have.
Yes, and he kind of looks it over and he like brushes it off a little and gives it a little bit of a breath, you know, to get kind of debris and dust off of it. Says, "Hey, it is not the best quality, but yes, it will do. It will do. Yes, how much did the paper cost you?"
Oh shit.
It was 10 gold, Commander.
My associate says 10 gold. She was the one that went in the store.
Roll me a deception.
Oh, good thing I'm good at that. Wait, I don't have beguiling influence. Fuck this game. 12.
So he he looks at you real quick, and we'll roll.
Wait, should I roll? Because does the commander? The commander does know I'm lying, right?
Yeah.
Craggle, you know I'm lying. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll roll this
Does he
right
roll
out
it?
in the open. He just rolls a flat d20. So
I was gonna say,
Yes.
I was gonna say, does he get advantage because he's getting assistance with the lie?
No
Yeah,
need.
Yep. So Billiam's kind of like, they raised their prices, huh? I guess it makes sense with everything going on. Yes, I give you the 10 gold. And he ruffles around and then hands you 10 gold pieces.
And we can't split that evenly between 6, but I'm going to give the majority to war. So 3 to war, 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, no.
Don't worry about me.
Who is that? Balrun?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll give everybody except Balrun 2 gold.
Cool.
Thank you,
2 gold.
Balrun.
War snorts because she wanted half of that gold.
And I'll give her my 2 gold. So war gets 4.
Awesome. And you notice
So
that
you forget
William
that-
also has, a lot of other things gathered. So he has like a backpack that he has on his back, and in the backpack you can see sticking out of a bunch of different pockets are all these quills and feathers that are clearly for writing. And he breaks out a journal, and he opens it up, and he grabs one of the feathers, and he takes a little bottle of ink that clearly has just recently been made from the berries and the gal nuts that you gave him just a little bit ago. And he dips his quill in, takes his journal, and starts writing in his journal.
So was the inn on the way back to the caravan, or is the inn like the opposite? Like we keep going in the direction we got to get here.
It's like a triangle. So you're about an hour
Okay.
away from where the inn is, and the inn is about an hour away from the caravan.
Okay.
So I mean, you're probably, you're not that far. It was only like 25 minutes for you to get
Right.
to Billiam's house. So you're 25 minutes away from the caravan, an hour from the inn. The inn's an hour from the caravan.
Kind of like that ish. Obviously not to scale.
Yeah, like that.
So to the
And we need to
group,
get over here.
I believe this fellow could probably make it to the caravan on his own, so we could head to the inn, or we can escort him back.
Well, let's ask him. Do you want to head to the caravan alone there, Billiam?
To the caravan alone? No, you can't send me all alone in this very harsh world. I have fair hands, in skin. I am not much of a fighter, hey? And there are people who would do me harm. I am very well known, as a poet, and there are people who would most certainly like my writings. So I do need protection. I come to the caravan because you are here, and I know I'd be safe on my way to the caravan. So no, I cannot go alone.
Miss your friend, pal?
Well, if Pal was here, yes, I maybe go with him, but Pal is not here, so, I cannot go with him.
No, this guy's just a floppy noodle. Look at it. Look at his arms, mate. He can't even swing a sword. I've also never heard of him. You said you were well known.
You say that out loud? That's in character?
Yeah. No, I walk up to him and I'm just like, hey.
If you guys want, go ahead. I'll go with Billiam here to the caravan and meet you guys on the way to the inn.
Who was
Again,
that?
I'll
Was
come
it-
with you, mate. Don't worry.
yeah, no,
I was only poking fun at this little meatbag.
the
Who
last
he
are
time
could-
you
he
brought
could-
it
calling
up.
a
he could come-
meatbag?
He could come with us and write grand stories about us too.
William, we're calling you a meatbag because we just had to go get you some nuts.
I was talking about some other meatbag, mate. It's fine.
Well,
You are, being very offensive. No, no, you call me a meat bag, a bag of meat. You are not so eloquent with the words, no? Like maybe you need bigger brain in order to comprehend, the work that Billiam does, for the greater good.
It's the most French thing I've ever heard in my life.
What is this,
All right.
this French that you speak of?
Out of character. All
Let's
right.
just get him back,
Let's
and
just-
then we'll head to the inn.
This guy's
No big
almost
deal.
as bad as Pal. That was out loud.
That's why they're buddies.
It's why they're friends. Let's go.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, try to keep up. Don't fall behind. If you get hurt, we'll fix you at the caravan, but don't expect
More
anything
resident.
special.
we're going to make sure to take position behind Billiam, just to make sure that he can't backtrack.
Okay, sounds good. And while you're next to Billiam, on the way he's writing, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. I'm not sure what a natural failure of perception is.
Yeah, so, you're just walking with Billiam. Good old Billiam.
He's probably writing terrible things about us. We'll find out later.
All right, so let's go ahead and load the caravan. The good old caravan. And you are now in tow.
The bad
with,
that part of me was expecting them to not be here. Just like field be in flames.
And
In keeping with the themes.
Hey,
Everybody
pal,
can
we're back
see-
with your friend.
all right, everybody can see the caravan.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So Billiam,
I'm
kind
ready.
of walks back over here and walks past Pal and doesn't really even look at Pal, but Pal notices Billiam as he walks by and says, "Oh, it's Billiam! I'm really happy that you're here, Billiam. I'm really glad that they were able to convince you to come." And you see that Billiam kind of looks up, scoffs, and continues writing in his journal as he moves over in this direction. And Pal goes, "Well, okay then, Billiam. I'm sure you're really tired. Because it's a really long walk and it's been a long day. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. How about? Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Billiam." And Billiam continues over here and sits next to this cart and continues his writing.
Could we say that I've attuned to the orb of shielding?
How long does the attune take?
I think it's an hour. Yep.
Sorry.
You're good.
Say again.
Could we say that in the time between walking through the forest and walking back with him that I've attuned? Or not yet?
Yeah, we'll say that you attuned to the orb.
Sweet. Cool. Well, we've got one more stop to make, but I might be able to convince the caravan to hold off for us if we want to rest for the night and do it in the morning.
What time of day would we think it is at this point?
It's probably around 3-4 o'clock.
Oh shit.
We have time.
But I'm exhausted.
I think we're all a little tired there, sir.
But I'm actually exhausted. It actually affects performance, but fine.
How heavy is Crackle?
You're trying to
Probably-
just carry him.
Probably too heavy for you. I think
I don't
I
know.
put 280 pounds, I think.
Can I do a? Can I roll a strength check to see if I can pick him up and carry him?
I'm not letting her carry me.
He'll just be fighting you the whole time.
I've got a +5 for strength.
You've got those wings. Use them. Let's go.
I'm walking quickly away from war. All right, do we go south or west?
I think it was supposed to be east and then like northeast from here, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's northeast from here. So you can go
This
east
direction.
along. Yeah. So you can go like east along this road, and then you would take a branch of the road that would lead you, more north. But
I was
from
gonna
this
say, Edward
direction,
just took
it's
off
in the
straight
northeast
down.
direction.
The map moved while I was moving my icon.
I just like that I
Nice.
can. I just like that I can do this. That way.
Noticing Balron sticking behind, I'm gonna walk up to him. You doing all right?
Oh, out of character. I'm just writing notes, but
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you were hanging behind. But yeah, you know what? I'm still gonna ask you because we had our little chat. You feeling all right? Feeling up to the task?
yeah, mate. And thank you for that earlier. I didn't really get the chance to properly thank you, but I know I'm not really part of your clique or anything, but I appreciate the bit of kindness you've shown me.
For what it's worth, I'm not part of my clique either, but you're welcome. And I'll just start walking away.
Ominous.
Oh, and just for role-playing reasons, probably on the way to the inn because we have so much time. That play-by-post thing that I had with Craggle would probably take place at this point. Just wanted to let you know, DM.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, sorry, I was just writing notes and stuff.
Yeah. We're gonna
Good.
load in another map, and we will place
That
all
episode was
of
called
you.
The Fabled Fawn. Oh, I need my journal back.
So it takes about an hour for all of you to get to where the Fabled Fawn Inn is, which is the inn that you are looking for. As you get close to where the Fabled Fawn Inn, which is closer to El Terrell, you notice from that direction smoke coming from that direction. And the closer you get, you realize that smoke is coming from a fire from a building right next to the Fabled Fawn. And this will let this map load for the rest of you, so you can actually physically see.
Yeah, I'm at 99.
Oh, you're in? Awesome. Okay.
I think so. Yep.
All right, so Honed, you are up in initiative. What do you want to do before I unceremoniously cut out?
Yeah, we
All
may
right,
need
I want to open the door and just take a gander to see what the inside looks like.
Okay, go ahead and open it.
Click the door.
So click the door. There you go.
fire.
So that is what it looks like from your perspective. So as you open that door, you see just flames everywhere, and there is smoke, and the smoke kind of billows out of the door as soon as the door opens up. You also see two horses within the barn that seem to have no idea what to do or how to get out. Across the way, maybe 15 feet from you, you see 4 sets of big doors to what look like stables, and then to your north up there, you see a set of ladders that looks like it goes up into some sort of loft. Down here, it looks like the barn turns a corner as well. So if you want to go up into that loft area, you can double click that green arrow that you see up there, and that'll actually just bring you up the ladder. But when you get close to it, but that's what
Okay.
you see.
I think I got about 15 feet more room to travel, so I'll try to get this horse out.
Okay, sounds good. Make me make me a charisma check.
Not animal handling.
I was just saying,
Animal handling. That's fine. That's charisma based, dude.
Yeah, I can do animal handling.
Yeah, do animal handling. I'll let you keep the 16 if you want, plus whatever your animal handling is.
Plus 2, so it would be an 18 then?
So we'll say 18 animal handling.
Plus 2.
Yeah. So how are you guiding that horse out? What are
Okay.
you doing specifically to guide the horse out?
I'm assuming that since the horse is in there, it probably has the bridle on its head still. So let's grab it and just guide him towards the door.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And as you kind of go up and do that, you know, the horse kind of calms down a little bit because it's moving quite wildly in there. But it'll follow you to the door and out the door if you want to go ahead and move.
Okay.
And as you get to the door, the horse will take off this way.
That's a big horse.
Bye, horsey.
Belron, you're up.
Right. Seeing as how we got one horse up, out of the building. I'm kind of far away. What am I like? Yeah, I'll just dash up to the door if I can. 60 feet will get me there, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good. That is your movement and a dash. Is that it for you?
Yep.
So, the woman from that window yells, "Please, my husband! Save my husband in there!" And it looks like they're breaking through! Ward, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
War is going to go in and try to get to there. Let's see. It looks like, can I actually get that horse? Is that horse pretty much just completely engulfed in flames?
It's right between the flames. It's I mean, you can get to the horse, but you know, it's really, really hot. You know where you are. So I mean, you could try, but yeah, you don't want to stay there. You know, like you could probably get in there and like grab the horse by the reins and try to grab it and move it out. But if you kind of get stuck there, you think that it's pretty hot in there. You might end up burning yourself.
Alright, then I'm gonna use my movement to get here to grab the horse and see if I can't kind of get it to do it towards the door.
Alright, give me an animal handling.
Okay, I think War's about to get trampled.
So, you try to like grab this horse by the reins, and it is so scared and not budging. It is in panic mode. Give me a strength saving throw.
Oh, alright. I didn't know if I need to do a crit fumble for that one.
No,
It's only for attacks.
Yeah, only for attacks.
Strength saving throw.
Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty.
Wow. I'm pretty sure I just got trampled, yeah.
Ooh. All right, that is a 7. Okay,
Yep.
so you this horse like comes down with its hooves on top of you, and while you're trying to like yank its reins, and it bucks you a little bit, and you will take. I'll roll this here. You'll take 2 points of damage, and it knocks you prone onto the ground.
Okay. Fucking horse.
And that is your turn.
Yep.
Neil, you're up.
Alright, so Neil's gonna look over at Craggle and say, I know you told me to help with the barn, but I think the lady needs help.
Yeah,
so-
I was hoping to get 3 and 3, but looks like Belrun ran that way, so I'm headed to the north.
Alright, so as my bonus action, I'm gonna shift, and you guys will see Neil like turn into more of a were-rat kind of guy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's
By
my
the way,
take.
actually, real quick, Neil, did you put down those AoEs?
Yeah, but I was just goofing around, yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to your ruler button on the far left side, and then you can click on them and then hit the delete key to get rid of them.
Oh, they're not there for me anymore.
They're not there
Oh.
for me either.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
there.
they're not
They're still
for
there
me.
for me. I don't know why. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Ignore me
Sorry.
then.
Okay. Okay, so as my shift, I get 4 bonus HP, and my movement speed turns to 40. So, I'm gonna dash.
Oh, that's the woman you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash 5.
I didn't see her before.
How do I? It's not letting me move. Oh wait,
There you
it's
go.
being really slow. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Alright, and then that'll be my turn.
All right, awesome. Okay, Craggle, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash to the north, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Awesome.
That's my turn.
Igvis, you are up.
Interesting. Okay. I think I'm actually probably better in the burning building because I have resistance to fire. So
Do you?
I do.
Oh, I was saying you do you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna head just straight in here, and as I'm passing by Honed, I'll say, "Hey, get to the inn," and then I'll go up,
Okay, double
and
click
that's
that.
60 right there.
Double click that green arrow. There you go.
There we go.
Okay. That is your turn then, because that was both of your movement and your dash,
Yeah,
right?
that's all my move.
Honed, you are up. Top of the round.
Okay, I am going to do what Vegas said, get to the inn, so I'm going to head to the inn with my dash 50 feet.
Cool. Go ahead and move.
I just figured me and Balron are best in here because fire, and we resist fire.
Yeah, that's why I ran this way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Alright, so that's a move and a dash. Belra,
Yeah, it is correct.
you are up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna follow my much cooler tiefling friend into the burning building and see what I see. Is war okay over there?
Yeah, so I mean, you
I see her on the ground.
yeah, you see her on the ground. How you doing over there, War?
Probably more embarrassed than anything.
Not embarrassed enough to save face, but
So you see War on the ground
War.
there. That was just trampled by some horses. You see just the tail end of your other tiefling friend who went up the ladder upstairs, and then you have these 4 doors to these stables.
I can't see through the stables, hey?
Correct. You'd have to open up the doors. There are little door icons there.
Alright,
that you can
would
click
that
on.
be my action?
That would be your action.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the... Oh. Nothing's behind door number 1.
I can see a little into that room from here.
And then, I guess, I still had... What was it? I think another 5 feet of movement, so can I use that?
Yeah.
You went from
Hey.
here to here? Or were you
Yeah.
able to farther out?
So I'll just use the rest of my...
All right. Cool. So you.
I just realized I was muted, but I was trying to tell him that I'm fine.
All right. Bob.
That's it for me, thanks.
War, you're up.
War is going to use half her movement to stand up, and then attempt to get the horse the frick out of the flame one more time. So animal handling.
just smack
Yep,
on the ass.
Animal handling.
That's the.
Otherwise-
I mean, that's,
Otherwise, you'll just leave it here at this point.
yes.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Nice. There you go. So yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
On the second go, how do you do this? Do you grab it by the reins? How are you coaxing this horse?
No, my goal is to get in there, smack the ass, and get it to run towards the door. Literally, that is it. And say, "Yeah, bitch, yeah."
Yeah. So you do that, and you smack this horse on the ass, and the horse just knows exactly what you want it to do, and it takes off.
And at that point, I'll use the rest of my movement to just get out of the fire. So I assume I can't open the smacking the horse is enough. I can't open the door.
Right. So you kind of used your action to coax that horse out of the
Yep.
stable.
Yep. Alright, then War's just gonna hang out at that door and get ready to go in there on next turn.
All right, Neil.
All right. Well, Neil's gonna. Is opening doors as an action,
Yes.
or? Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll walk up here and open this door.
All right. So you open that door and you see what you see in there. So I will let you contemplate what you see. Keep a little bit of suspense for those who are not so lucky to see.
Yeah, of course.
I literally see a fiery hallway. That's what I see.
Yeah. So that is what you see, and what you see are I'm gonna just type this out. It's /W, right? And then name. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
Slash
and
W.
then his name.
And then his name specifically.
Yeah. So Jared, not Neil.
Yeah, Jared.
Okay, so I wouldn't put Neil. I have to put Jared.
You can also message me on Discord if it's easier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Jared.
got you there.
Or that.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So that was move. So I mean, you still have movement left. Your action was to open the
Yeah.
door, but if you want to continue moving,
I'm
can.
gonna move. Oops. I'm gonna move right here, and that'll be my turn.
Okay, sounds good. And those couple that I mentioned before, are over here that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So-
Craggle.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30.
So nice of you to join me.
Do you want to go ahead and copy paste that message to me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Do they notice us?
Oh yeah, they notice you.
Okay. Then I'm going to bonus action Hex, the one that's closest to me. Do I know what these are?
You can give me an Arcana check, or yeah, and just a general intelligence check or Arcana. If
Nope.
You have it. Yeah, you have
Unfortunate.
no idea.
Nope, no fucking clue.
No idea.
Okay, so I'll give them disadvantage in shit, hang on, sorry, I need to move my shit around. So I used that pack spell. I'll give him disadvantage in strength, I guess, just because I don't know what else to do.
Sounds good.
Actually, you know what? Make it intelligence. Yeah, intelligence.
Okay. Cool. And is
And-
that just
and then,
all intelligence
that's-
checks?
Let me put the thing up for Hex here. Oh wow, why didn't it? How do I put it in? Oh, display in BTT. There we go.
I can see it there.
So,
Yeah.
You place a curse on a creature that you can see within range of the spell, and you deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit it. Also choose one ability when you cast the spell. The target has disadvantage on all ability checks.
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah, just ability checks.
yeah, ability checks. So, does that include saving throws?
No, I
Does
think
it-
ability checks are distinct from saving throws, but skill checks are ability
Okay.
checks.
Oh, is that true? Because I haven't been doing disadvantage for my skill checks for my exhaustion.
Yeah, skill checks are ability checks, so all your
Oh.
skill checks would be a disadvantage.
Okay, I had noted for the future, sorry. Okay, so I'll stick with my original plan then, strength, since they probably try to bust down this door or something. And then Eldritch Blast at the one closest to me.
Cool. Give me a roll.
Does a 9 hit?
A 9 will hit. One
Oh,
that is-
shit hot.
Yeah, it will hit.
And then hex damage.
It was put as 3 earlier.
Yeah, I learned that you do it every time you hit them, so
Okay,
it's 2
cool.
this time. So it's 5, 3 force damage, 2 necrotic damage.
Alright. 3 force, 2 necrotic.
So, seeing Neil run in, I dash in after him. Seeing this mess of crap, I'm gonna pull out my new green orb and start whispering under my breath as it glows, and then dark energy will surround him, and then I will continue my chant as a blue crackle of energy sparks from the orb and hits it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you see it's this big blubbery creature, right? So, I mean, this force infused with that dark necrotic energy hits the blubber and just kind of, it creates this like rippling effect on its body, right? Like waves, as it hits. And the creature definitely didn't like it as little chunks of blob come off the creature. But, it's still standing and not very happy with you.
And that's my turn.
All right. This one is up. Neil and Craggle, you can see that glow, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Mhm.
So this one is going to move, and these things are, you can tell are very sluggish. So it actually spends its entire turn getting there.
Ooh. So as a reaction while I'm shifted, if anything ends their turn 5 feet within me, I can move 10 feet away.
Okay, cool.
So I would like to do that now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna move down over into that corner.
Okay, sounds good.
Sweet.
What is that sound that just happened?
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything.
Weird. Okay.
Okay, this one over here that's highlighted. I think Neil, you can see that one. Craggle, you can't.
Yeah.
But that one's bashing on a door over there.
Mhm.
Igvis, you are up.
Ha, that must be the warning that I'm about to go. Okay. So while I'm up here, is it an action to just check to see if anything is up here that we're missing? Perception check?
Yeah, you can make me a perception check or an investigation check if you'd like. Are you trying to take time up there searching, or just
Well-
like a really quick glance?
A quick glance, as I'm trying to find this husband. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, so you take like a quick glance over there, and you know that's a pretty good roll, but you're pretty confident that the husband is not up there.
Alright, going down. Actually, you know what? I'm trying to think if I should just take a minute to find, but I don't think I should.
You're
So-
confident he's not there.
Yeah, you're
So I'm
confident
gonna
he's not there.
let's see. So I'll take the 20 feet here. And do I still have an action to open this?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Not in door number 2, and then I'll finish the rest of my move to move here.
Sounds good. Alright, this one is up here by you, Craggle. It is going to move here. And it will attack you. It comes out with this blubbery, like, appendage, and tries to smack you upside the head.
I can kind of see it out of the corner.
A 21 to hit,
Oh god, yep.
and that is for 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
And that's not showing in the virtual tabletop, is it?
No.
Interesting.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, the roll worked at least, so
I'll believe you.
maybe I'll roll it next time in the chat instead.
Can I take a chance to say something?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn to Hone. Hone, there's a lot of them, and Neil's about to get surrounded.
Okay.
Imagine if we came tomorrow. Craggle.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, we
alright.
wouldn't have had to deal with this shit.
You're not wrong.
So, some more movement. Honed, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna move up and to the left-hand side of that guy inside the door there.
Sounds good. Go ahead and move.
Is the thing that you're walking through a door, maybe, or into a wall?
Oh, maybe.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Welcome to the party.
And I'm going to attack the guy that's attacking Craigle.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give me a roll.
That's with advantage.
This isn't a flank, no.
This is not a flanking position.
It'd have to be here.
Oh, okay.
So 15 hits. Go ahead and roll me damage. Nice. 8 points of damage. And that
Oh,
thing
boy.
dies.
Fuck
How
yes.
do you do
Nice.
it? How do you kill this thing?
I just swing my axe and it just cuts the jelly man in two.
Nice, just slice and jelly.
Just like Jello.
Belron, you're up.
I like how there's little blood stains left behind now.
Yeah, it's part of that
I-
module I downloaded.
That's dope.
Well, there's only one door left. I imagine Igvis is gonna take care of that up here, right? So I'll go back down the stairs. And I will. That would be 5 down the ladder, I guess. And
Yep.
this way. 1 to there. 5, 30. I guess War is probably gonna open those other doors, so I guess I would just go back to here 20 and then go out 30 to there and then dash another 30 out to there.
Sounds good.
Up another square. Be 30 there.
Awesome. These horses start running that way. This thing is up. It's gonna move there. This one is going to move there. You can use your. It's a reaction, right, Neil, that you have? 'Cause he's
Yeah,
gonna
but
end his
I only
move.
get it once per round, so
It is a new round.
I can't use.
Right? You didn't use
Oh, it isn't around.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you've gone since you last used it, right?
No,
Yes,
no, I haven't.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll stay here.
Okay, sounds good. This one continues bashing in the door. That is over there.
They are pretty ugly, aren't they?
War, you are up.
War is going to open that door, see nothing, and be like, "Where the fuck is husband?" Because there was nothing when I came down here to rescue that horse. There was a wall there, right? PM.
Yeah, you didn't see anything around that corner. It is a little corner and a little alcove, but there's just flames and fire.
Okay. Alright, so then I assume when I see Ignis, that means that all the other doors have been checked, and I'm going to use my movement to get out of here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Once I get to the door, I will use my action to dash up to the house.
You opened the door.
Oh, oh, yep, then yeah. Sorry, then no. Then 30 will put me there, and I'm out.
Sounds good. This one.
Oh.
I can barely see this guy, and I agree, they're pretty ugly.
Neil, you are up.
Okay. So, are these guys fiends by any chance?
What, do you have something that works against fiends?
Yeah, they're my favorite enemies, so I can recall I have advantage on intelligence checks if I can recall any information about them. Just share that.
Yeah, so you will definitely have advantage.
Okay. Can I recall how much health they have?
Well, you have to. So make a. One second. Let me read the thing. It's just you have advantage on
Well, if I roll,
Wisdom survival checks to track your favorite enemies.
to recall
use this
information.
feature.
Yeah. So give me like an intelligence arcana check, and with advantage.
All right. It's a 14 good enough?
Yeah, no, with a 14, you're not sure what these things are.
Gotcha. All right, then I'm just gonna hit the one in front of me with my short sword. Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does hit.
All right. For 5 damage.
5 damage.
Woo. Alright, and that'll be my turn.
Alright. Craggle, you are up.
Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus action to move the hex to this one. That's like straight ahead of me.
Sounds good.
Seeing Belron coming up and wanting to give him some space and not wanting to get stuck in there, I'm going to back up 10 feet and I'm going to Eldritch Blast the one I just hexed.
Awesome. Give me a roll.
17 for 9 force damage, and then the hex damage for 3. So 12 total damage.
Woo! And you really injure that one. It's still up, but I mean, you put like a gaping hole in it. You know, you like took off, you know, one of its appendages, and then you just kind of see like it trying to form another appendage in like the same spot, and it just has like a little nub kind of where its appendage was, and on the floor is just this big glob, oblong piece of goo.
I'm gonna look down at my orb and be like, I like this thing.
Anything else, Craggle? That would be bonus.
That'll be my turn.
Okay.
This won't be like another cultist situation where we're all stuck in a hallway.
The one you just
Thankfully,
hit
I
is
thought of that. Sorry, DM, go.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
This one moves out there. That's its turn. This one. We'll move there. Let's see. You are. Can you see that, Neil? Yeah. And Honed, you can see that too. The one over here that's highlighted. It's bashing on that door, and you can see cracks are starting to form in that door. Serious cracks. You don't think that that door is going to hold very much longer that it's bashing on. Igvis, you are up.
Okay.
Alright, so start with the action to open this door.
And when you open that door, you notice a man there lying on the ground, and he's not moving currently.
He's not moving. Alright.
Yeah.
So I'll move in, grab him, and just bring him out of here is the first step for me. And I can get him to about... do I have to move half speed since I'm carrying him, or can I just carry him the full distance?
Give me a strength check.
Okay.
Or athletics, whatever you prefer. If they are different.
Sorry, that was a save, but it was an 18 on the roll, on the dice.
Alright, cool. And your strength is what? +0? Or athletics +0?
+0, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, easy, you're able to carry him.
Oh, athletics actually has a +2. What do you know?
Yeah. Adrenaline is just pumping right now for you, and you're able to carry him full speed.
Okay. I was gonna say I can't actually drag him, but I'll bring him outside.
Awesome. So that is action movement. Is that it?
I have a bonus action, but I don't think I can do anything. So we're good.
All right. Cool. All right. This one is up. We're gonna. It's gonna move up here and it's gonna attack you, Honed.
Okay.
We're just gonna roll there in chat. 19 to hit.
Yeah, it hits me.
For 3 bludgeoning damage.
3 damage. Okay.
Yeah. And that is that turn. Honed, you are up. Top of the round.
Okay. I'm not sure if anybody's around the door, but I holler out the door. Somebody get over to that window and get the lady out of there. They're about to break through. And then I'm going to start swinging at the guy in front of me.
I'll just yell out, I got it!
Cool. Which one are you attacking? There are 3 over there.
The one that's straight in front of me.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and give me a roll.
That face.
So a 9 will actually hit.
All right.
These things are really easy to hit. They're big and blubbery, and you have no problem targeting them. For 8 points of damage. So take a nice slice out of that one, and then the blubber just kind of seals up that wound, and as it spits at you.
All right. I'm going to end my turn here.
All right, Belron.
All right. Looking over here and like here. Are these? Is this a door? This here? Or is that just a wall?
Sorry, where are you currently pointing?
This here.
That is just that's a window over there, but it's all like boarded. Well, sorry, I was looking at Eric. There. Right now, your thing is over. Yeah, right there where you're over. Hovering.
Yeah,
that's a window that seems to be boarded up.
Okay, and this one is an open window. I can
Yep.
I can see this girl from here. Okay. I know that this is the woman that's been screaming and like panicking. Or
Yes. Yep.
okay. I'm gonna see if I can't make my way that way, and maybe open the window and get her out that way.
Okay. Sounds good.
So 30 feet would get me there. Can I make like some sort of insight check or like intelligence check to see if I throw a javelin to break the window, will I just fucking kill her with it?
So that window is open. Like it's like an opening for a window, but there's no like glass pane or anything there that would stop you from like entering or exiting it.
Oh, well I'll just yell at her and say, "Oh, oi! Jump out the window, you stupid cunt! You're gonna get railed by the stupid demons."
She says, "I'm not the only one in here. There is another one with me, and she's badly injured."
Yeah, I'll get that one. You just get yourself to safety, all right?
All right, I will do.
And then I guess if that didn't take my action, I'll use my action then to dash and get up to the window, and just get there.
Sounds good. And inside you see another individual as well, which you can see in your vision there. And
All
it looks
right.
like that individual has like a pretty large gash going down their leg. And it
Their
looks like
leg.
it's it looks like it's stopping them from moving as they try to keep pressure on their leg, and blood is just kind of coming out.
All right. All right. Well, yeah. I think that's my turn. I'll just try and like usher her out the window, and I'll try and get her friend the next turn.
Sounds good. The horses run.
They're just gone.
Okay, this one is.
Oh, I apologize for the language, by the way.
It doesn't bother me. I don't know if it bothers anybody else.
Oh, I'm good with the language.
Oh, I thought you were apologizing to her.
I figured you
Oh
was
no,
apologizing. to
screw
you.
her. I meant you guys.
All right, that one moves out. This one will attack Neil. So, Neil. $17 to hit
Yep, that hits.
for 3 points of damage.
Alrighty.
You see this one bashing against the door. I mean, you think like a couple more seconds and that door is definitely coming down. The woman who is in the window will climb out of the window this way, and she'll be right behind you, Belron, and she'll say, "All right, what do we need to do to help Pastorine? I'm able-bodied. I can help."
You can fight?
I can do my best.
Well, maybe go help my my scaly friend over there, and I'll get your friend out of this building. All right?
Will do. And she will move. And that will be her turn. War.
Moore is going to dash up to where Belron is to see if she can assist getting people out of that window. So, 60 feet puts her there. So we'll let me move.
You gotta click the square.
Oh,
You're on the ruler.
that might help.
There we go.
There you go.
Nice. Alright.
Also,
And,
a little
here-
shortcut too, in case you didn't know. If you hold Control, so if you hold Control and then click your character, you can also do the same thing with the movement.
Okay. I just want to make sure I did, because I don't think I can actually get up to the building, so I'm one square away. But once I get up there, I'm just going to yell in there, "Y'all get the fuck out!"
Sounds good. All right, this one is up. It's gonna move there. Neil, you're up.
Alrighty. Let's see. Neil is going to hit this one in front of him with a short sword attack. Does a 14 hit?
A 14 does hit.
Alright. That's going to be for 9 damage.
And it goes down.
Alright. And then as my bonus attack, I have 2 short swords, so one in each hand. I'm going to hit this one that I'm targeting. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 does hit.
Alright, so I'm going to roll the damage, but I don't... You're going to subtract 3 because I don't get my modifier because I'm not proficient in it yet.
Okay.
So just subtract 3 from the damage. So it's going to be 2 damage.
Okay, sounds good. 2 damage.
Better
It
than
is
none.
still up.
Alright, that'll be my turn.
Craggle, you are up.
Okay. I am... Shit. I am way too afraid to provoke 2 opportunity attacks right now. I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on the one right that I attacked before, the one to my left.
Nothing.
And that's not a attack roll, so I don't have disadvantage, but it makes an intelligence saving throw. DC 13.
Right, intelligence saving throw. It fails miserably.
So
-5 modifier.
So I don't know if I get my hex damage on that or not. The hex description says whenever... Wait, until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit with an attack. Does that count with Mind Sliver?
Mind Sliver is a spell, not an attack, so it would not.
Okay, gotcha. So is it still up?
After taking 4 damage.
And it was, sorry, which one that you hit?
The same one I attacked before. So it's the one to my left, yeah.
It goes
Okay,
down.
good. So I'm less afraid of provoking 1 opportunity attack, so I'll now run my 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You know what? I want to do it like this. I want to go towards Igvis. So... I'll do 25 here. Well, it didn't... Is it supposed to move my token?
If you press, so you are you using control? So use
Yeah.
control, then
It will not.
left click to stop, and then press space, and it'll move.
Aha. 25, and then the 30 this way. And then he gets an opportunity attack.
Yep.
He hits.
Now it's working. All right. So he hits for this much damage. 3 points of damage. As he lashes out with you with one of those bulbous arms. All right. That is it, Craggle?
Craggle will stumble a little bit as he runs away and holding his side where he got struck, but he's hanging in there. I'm done.
All right. This one is up. This one is going to attack Honed. And 11 to hit.
No hit.
All right, so it misses.
All right, and since he's ending his turn 5 feet within me, I'm going to move a little bit,
Okay, sounds good.
just right here.
All right. And this one bashes in that door that is in front of him on that turn, and you can see it now open up into the next room. Igvis, you are up.
I guess I'll start by doing a medicine check on this guy to see if he's still alive or if I can stabilize him if he's bleeding out.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Of course. I got a 6.
You're honestly, there's so much blood. You know, there's just tons of blood. There are wounds everywhere. There's this big gash in his head. He's not moving. You think he's breathing, you know, but you're not entirely sure, and you're not sure how to stop the bleeding.
So in that case, I'll use my movement to get to here. And I'll yell at his wife and just say, "Hey, go help your husband at the barn. I'll trade you spots."
Oh, my Sagrin! Yes, yes! I will go grab him!
And my action was the medicine check, right? So I can't like throw a dart at this guy.
Correct.
Okay, then I will just end my turn there.
Alright, this other lady up here, Belron and War, you can kind of see War, though it's not on your map, comes up to that window, just limps up to the window, and says, you're gonna have to help me get out. My leg is all injured and about. I need some help. I think I'm bleeding out.
Right. Would I have to like use my reaction or something to help her out the window, or?
Yeah, on your turn, if you want, you can spend your action to help her and get her out of the window, you know, basically using your turn.
Alright.
Alright, this one is up. And it is going to attack you, Honed. 22 to hit.
Yes, sir.
It's weird, didn't roll the attack roll. 1 damage.
Yeah, we got the damage though.
Okay.
Alright. There you go. You got hit for 1 damage. Honed, you are up. And at this point, as you look back, Igvis, and Craggle from where you are, that building that the husband is by starts collapsing in on itself. Like the roof physically starts coming down, and you see dust spewing out of that door in greater energy. Honed.
I'm just going to hit the guy that I hit before. The same guy that me and Neil hit.
Sounds good. So this guy.
Yeah.
Dirty 20 will hit. For 7 points of damage. And how do you take this thing out?
Same as before. Just slice him like a jelly.
Slice and dice. Awesome.
And I'm done.
Okay, cool. Belron.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna help this lady out the window.
And how are you going about helping her out the window? You know, are you trying to like brute force her out the window? Or are you gonna try to be careful about, you know, making sure, you know, she doesn't like slice up that leg? You know, exactly how are you gonna help her?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna make sure there's no like glass in the opening of the window, and then I'm just gonna like try and gingerly pull her out.
All right, give me a dex check or a sleight of hand if you have it.
Both are equally terrible.
Yeah, the 11 is enough. So, you're able to spend your turn, helping her get out, and you kind of grab around the leg to make sure that as she's coming out, that her leg doesn't twist in any certain fashion. It's still bleeding, though, and your hand does slip a little on her leg just from the blood that's kind of pulling down the side of the leg. But she manages to get out.
I wipe my hand off on her clothes first to just like, that's gross, and then I'm just gonna go over this way. How much was that? Another 5 feet this way.
Okay, sounds good. All right. This one is up. This one will. We'll roll a 1d3. 1, it'll go for Ignis. 2 for Belron. 3, it'll go back inside for Hone. 1, so it kind of lumbers its way towards Ignis. And
My plan worked.
Will attack you, Ignis. An 18 to hit. I believe that hits you.
Sorry, as muted. Yeah, it hits.
Right, for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And that is you. This one up here is going to start making its way back, since the prey that it's worked so hard to get to has now escaped through the window. The woman over here who was yelling is going to head down to her husband, and you'll see her grab her husband and then move away from the building a little bit more.
In hindsight, I probably should have done that. I just didn't.
And that building is just literally collapsing in on itself. War.
I'm going to move up to this window to see if I can see anything else inside. Can I occupy the space that the woman that just came out of the window was in?
Yeah, like if you want to kind of see if you can see anything inside as you move back and forth. You don't see anything else inside, but you do see that open door there. From that space, you can see that open door, and on the other side of the open door, it looks like is a blubbering creature.
So I'm going to try and climb in the window.
Okay. How are you going about that? Are you just diving straight in, or are you trying to be careful about it?
No, I'm just going to jump as best I can. Maybe take my glaive out to kind of help give me a jumping start to just jump in and get in there as quickly as possible.
Awesome. Give me an athletics check.
$21.
Awesome. Yeah, you just bust straight through the window, like a good pole vault, with your glaive almost, just straight through the window. Yeah. No problem. So that's your action.
I assume that's
move.
Yep, and that'll probably be that's about the movement that I want, and then I'm good. That'll be where I end my turn.
Okay, cool. This one is up. This one is going to attack you, Hone. So it will have advantage, so I'll roll this twice. So a 22 will hit you, I assume.
Yes, sir.
For 3 points of damage.
3 damage, okay.
And that is that one's turn. Neil, you are up.
Alrighty. Neil's gonna walk 5, 10, 15, 20, and that would give me advantage on this fella, right?
Yes.
Alrighty.
And you are using what again to attack?
Short sword.
Yeah,
17 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. For 8 points of damage. And then I will hit him with my offhand short sword. Does a 24 hit?
24 certainly hits.
All right. I already subtracted the 3, so we don't have to worry about it. I fixed it on my end. For 5 damage, even.
And that one goes down. How do you kill this thing?
I just bring down the first short sword, and then I run the second one across his neck. Just kind of sick, kind of cool.
Nice. So you just take that short sword straight across its neck, and you just see this like purplish goo kind of just come down the side of its neck as the head just kind of slides off the body and ends up in this heap on the floor.
Nice. All right, and then I have 25 movement left, so I'm gonna move right here, and I'm gonna yell at Tahone to get that one, and I'll focus on this one, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Craggle, you are up.
Okay. So, since my hex was on the last one that I killed, I'll move the hex to the one that's next to Igvis. And Eldritch Blast. 11 to hit, 2 force damage, and 1 hex damage, so 3 damage total.
Nice.
Every little bit helps.
And you whittle away a little bit more off the shoulder of this blub.
And I'll use my movement to circle around to here.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
All right. This one over here. Moves right in that room war and will swing at you.
Okay.
A 5, I assume, misses.
Does not hit.
All right. Perfect. Igvis.
Okay. I guess I'll just take a swing at the one in front of me that just took an attack at me. With something that probably for sure hits.
That will most definitely hit.
For 5 damage.
Is still up.
And then second attack offhand. Oh god.
Roll me a d20.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, that's not what I meant to roll, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's if I fail.
Yeah, straight d20 roll.
Okay.
Whew.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
go, boys.
Did not critically.
Did not need you stabbing yourself.
I would have made my. Well, I wouldn't have stabbed
You would've
myself. I would
punched
have
himself.
punched myself in the face. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have slapped yourself.
Oh, I thought you had 2 short swords. Okay, yeah.
No, I have a regular and my hand.
Well, then in that case, I imagine you just like punching a rock by accident, like
Yeah.
just breaking your own hand.
That was your turn, right, Igvis?
Oh, and I do have my movement, so I'll just move to here to try and make it easier for Baldur.
Sounds good.
But otherwise, yeah, end of my turn.
All right, that the woman's gonna move down that way. Okay, this one's up. This one's gonna attack you, Hones. 19 to hit.
It hits.
For 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Alright,
He's
and you're
tanking out
up,
here.
Hones. And at this point, that building completely collapses in on itself. So that is now just a pile of rubble that is burning.
Hope there was no one else in there.
You have no idea what y'all saw on the second floor.
Alright, Hones.
I'm going to attack the guy right next to me.
Awesome. Give me a roll. Eight will hit.
No way.
Oh,
fuck
thank God.
yes. Nice.
11 points of damage. Pretty big hit, but this thing is still moving.
Yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess. Yep.
All right. Belron.
Right. Seeing as how the blue and much cooler version of me moved over here to give me advantage, I'm gonna move on up. I'm gonna charge with my warhammer.
Is Belron just gonna have like permanent,
Longsword.
like permanent, like envy of me?
Yeah, it's like Big Brother syndrome or something.
Okay, just thought I'd ask.
Cool. Give me an attack roll with advantage.
I somehow rolled the same thing twice. I assume that hits though.
Yeah, it's sometime. It looks like it added it in Foundry.
It totally did, but
It
it's still
added your
it's a
2 T20s, but yes,
19.
19 will hit.
Fantastic.
Alright, and how are you using this longsword? Is this one hand or two hands?
Yeah, one hand. Sorry,
Alright.
I keep forgetting I'm on push to talk.
So 5 points of damage then. And that
Yep.
thing goes down.
Yay.
Anything else, Belron?
Yeah, shoot. I think I got a little bit more movement. Yeah, that was only 15 to there, so I'll move another 5, 10, 15 to there. And try and help my friends in the building, I guess.
Alright, cool. Okay, Neil, this one is going to attack you. Reach out with its blubbery fist. A 12 will
That's a miss.
miss.
Nice.
Fucking dodge.
Alright, the woman here is going to continue dragging her husband.
You can dodge some blubber, you can dodge a ball.
I'm sorry. I wanted to use my reaction to move. Sorry. I'll just move really quick.
Sounds good. War, you are up.
War is going to drop her glaive and take her warhammer off her belt so that she can smack the shit out of dude in front of her,
Nice.
walking her to you. So, 11?
11 will hit.
Alright. Wow, for 5 damage. War is disappointed in herself. Alright,
So
I
5
think that is
damage. This thing is still
yeah.
up.
I think that's gonna be it for me.
Alright. Neil.
All right. Neil is going to walk over. Oops. Wrong. And help Honed out with this guy just to get him out of the way. Hit him with my sword. Does a 21 hits, right?
21 definitely hits.
Alrighty. For 5 points of damage.
And that one also goes
Alright.
down.
Thanks,
Nice.
man.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Thanks for coming in with me. Alright, and I'm gonna... That was 15, so I'm gonna move... 25, so that's my 40 movement, so I'm gonna move back to this guy. And hit him with my short sword offhand for a 19 to hit and 5 damage. And that will be my turn.
Nice. Just bouncing around. Craggle.
Yeah, funny rat.
I will probably just use all my movement. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets me there. And I don't see anything. So I will
You definitely
dash.
hear fighting inside and to the right, though.
Yeah, and I will dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to just above this table here. And that's my turn. Bonus action, move the hex to the one that's in front of Neil.
Awesome.
That's my turn.
All right, War. This one's coming at you again.
Yep.
A 10 will miss you, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Igvis, you are up. You're muted, by the way, if you're talking.
Yeah, so I'll use my movement to get there. It was right inside the door. And 25 feet away. Okay. And I'll take out one of my darts and launch it at him.
Cool.
Oh my god! How am I rolling so many
Roll
ones?
a d20 again.
Oh boy.
Let's spin the wheel, fellas.
God. Alright, one second. 1d20.
No.
Oh, roll on the critical fumble table.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
You automatically hit and deal damage to the nearest friendly character. If the attack is a melee attack and no friendly characters within reach, but this is a dart, so you...
It was a dart at Neil.
Well,
Oh, no.
Honed is the nearest friendly character. He's right next to you. So you, like, kind of come back with your dart, and it slips out of your hand, and, like, literally just right against Honed in, like, the temple.
At least it was only for 4.
Another
Thanks,
one.
man.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Thanks, man.
Jesus.
I know.
Best time for a 1 was there, though.
So 4 damage to Honed.
I'm dead.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
no.
What?
You're
No.
So you're...
Bro.
I've been taking hits, man.
Yeah, he's been taking.
Fuck.
So it, yeah.
That's all I had left for health too was 4. It's like, this is okay, and then he decided to kill me.
So,
was
Honed
the
goes
minimum
down
damage I
with a
could do.
dart just sticking out of his head right now as he's bleeding from his temple.
Igvis, what the hell?
Bro.
I just need to stop attacking.
Time to reclass into cleric.
This is why I'm going Way of Mercy, so when I do punch him, it's fine.
All right, Honed, give me a death saving throw.
Whereabouts do I do those?
You should be able to
Is
do
your
it.
health 0?
Should be in the top right, where your health
Yeah.
usually is.
Yeah, once your health is 0.
Or no, I think you just roll. You just roll a d20, and then if it's below, if it's
Yeah, if
It
you,
does-
you should
it-
be able to
it
roll
does
it in
track
your
it.
character sheet.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
There you go.
oh
No.
All right, that's one fail.
No, Honed.
Oh no, Belron, you're up. You just witnessed that too. I mean, you saw Ignis literally come back with the dart straight into Hone's head, and he is now
He
on
just-
the floor, unconscious, bleeding out.
Igvis just girl throwed a dart into his friend.
I am slightly less envious of my big brother now for murdering my friend. but I'm gonna walk up here. Can I move through Igvis to here?
Yeah.
Yeah, friendlies are fine.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna. I got a potion on my belt. I don't have any lay on hands left, so I'm gonna take the potion and I'm gonna dump it down.
We are
Hone.
long resting after this. Oh my god.
We also keep forgetting to ask Rhea for potions.
True.
Yeah, so you do that, and you shove the potion down Hone's throat. So, I don't know, Hone, do you want to roll the healing?
Yeah, it was just a D4.
2d4 plus 2.
I could roll it for you, but I'm getting lots of ones, so.
Get
It'd be
reroll once,
Belrond that
whatever.
rolls it for him anyway. Nice.
Ooh.
And then a +2 on top of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'd be 10.
Yep.
Damn, double max. Holy shit. That's the best potion of healing I've ever seen.
Belron, you don't need to be
Sweet.
jealous of him
I'm almost
anymore.
back to full.
Awesome. So that was your
Thank
movement,
you.
your action, Belron. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I see this little fucking lump over here. I guess I'll just use like the last. I think I had like 5 more feet. I'll just move there, I guess.
Cool. All right. So this thing is up, and this thing's gonna attack you, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
19 to hit
Yeah, that hits me.
for 3 points of damage. War, you are up.
War takes out her warhammer and swings at dude again. See if she can to improve this time.
I wouldn't expect anything less of War.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a nat 20. Let's go ahead and roll me crit
Again.
damage.
So just roll it, hit it a second time because it only gave me 1 die.
Yeah, just roll
You
another
rolled a
1d10.
Or
You have great weapon fighting, don't you?
Yes.
You rolled a 2, so you can re-roll that.
Wait, I don't have. I think I have great weapon. Let me check real quick.
Also,
We
if you
That's your fighting style.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I just want to make sure that I didn't. That's not later, right?
No, that's at level 1 for fighters.
Okay.
When you roll a 1 or a 2, you can re-roll.
Really quick, I'm gonna use my reaction again. Move 1 step back. Just yeah.
There you go. So
So
it's
that-
the reroll.
plus 3.
Yep.
So it'll be 12 damage.
That's
Yes.
huge.
does that reaction not provoke opportunity attacks either?
No, yeah, it doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
That's ridiculously good.
Yeah, I know. It's freaking sick. That's why I want to be
Yeah,
ranged.
so
So.
how do you take this thing out, War, with this massive blow?
So again, my goal is just basically I'm imagining the 1917 Jello salad thing, just smashing it down the middle and saying, "Never again shall you see the light of day."
That is awesome, and you just create a splat across the floor. It's even like a little bit dangerous for anybody walking through there. They're going to be slipping all over the floor. I mean, there is no resemblance of what this thing used to be.
So I'm going to go ahead and move if that's okay, because I think I still have movement.
Go for it.
Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. So that should be the last one, right? I'm hoping.
As far as you can see.
Alright, then yeah, I'm gonna hang out there.
Sweet. All right. Neil is yet again gonna walk up into his range. Stand on the table for some, advantage. An 8 does not hit.
It does.
Then I'll.
An 8
Oh, an 8
does
does
hit. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they have been hitting.
Yeah, we
Nice.
hit with an 8 earlier.
Sweet. All right, hit him for 5 points of damage, And then with my offhand, 14, so 1 point of damage. 6 altogether.
All
And
right.
that'll be my turn.
It is still up. Craggle, you are up.
Chunky boy.
Alright, Hex is already on him, so Eldritch Blast. For a 9 with 9 force damage. And 2 necrotic, so 11 total.
And how do you end this fight, Craggle? How does this fight end?
So, with the orb still in my hand, again whispering under my breath, it starts to glow green, and a single crackling beam just strikes out straight through its core, where what its heart would be, hopefully.
That's awesome. Simple yet effective. And our combat is over.
What the fuck, Igvis?
I'm rolling lots of ones. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just gonna walk away.
I don't know what rolling ones means, but I swear to God, if you friendly fire again, I'm kicking you out of the troop.
Demote him. Demote him to something lower than fist.
There is nothing lower than
A
fist.
thumb.
Why can't you follow War's example? Look at that thing over there. Where it used to be.
You hear from outside, please, does anybody have the ability to save my husband? Is anybody well versed in medicine and healing?
I'm gonna try another medicine check.
Nice.
Awesome, nat 20.
I think
Oh,
that's
nice.
Very nice, dude.
I wanted to do it.
There's
for
the
like
20.
basically. Right? Like,
There
what
you
the
go.
hell? How did I get
Now-
two
now you
ones
get it.
back to back again?
I'm just standing next to him, like golf clapping, like, oh wow.
Yeah, so he actually becomes conscious. As you are able to...
I also wanted to see if I could. I also wanted to see if I could bandage her leg a little better as well, if that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. As part of that check, we'll say, you're able to take care of both of them, and he actually comes conscious, and you're able to bind her leg enough so that the bleeding stops, and she's able to limp on her feet.
Okay, cool. At least I did something, and I'll walk away again.
It's fantastic.
War's going to, while y'all are healing, War's investigating the house.
Or don't steal anything. These probably need these people's help.
Investigating, not stealing.
Yeah, and I'll walk out the door.
I think I accidentally stepped out of the house. Turn the music down.
Once everything kind of settles down a little bit, I want to ask this guy or whoever is like the most like conscious, I guess, like what the hell's happened here?
And the woman there speaks up, and I will again share this for you so you can kind of see what they all look like. So the one woman has long brownish red hair, and she says, "My name is Vasha Hall, and this is my husband Segrin." As she points to the gentleman who has the big gash wound and a black eye and is all beat up. We own this inn, or well, what's left of it, I suppose. Since we were hastering here, and she points over to the elf, says, is one of our patrons here at the inn. We were beset upon by these evil creatures, and I boarded up the inn to keep hastering safe, and boarded us up in the storage closet. My husband was in the barn, though, when it took to flames, and I can't thank you enough for saving us. I'm not sure what has happened to the city here of Elturel. I was outside when I saw an amazing sight, a terrible sight, but amazing sight. The entire companion just turned black, and electricity arced to each of the buildings, and before I knew it, the entire city rumbled, and a giant heat wave
Hey,
came out.
we know what happened. We know what happened. We don't
You-
need to relive it.
You saw it as well, firsthand. I see. She says-
Yeah, and there was nothing amazing about it.
She says, you're a Hell Rider, aren't you? As she takes a second to look at you.
If that means anything now.
She says it means a great deal right now. It means more now. If anything, it is the Hell Riders that people will turn to look for guidance on what to do next.
Craggle will take a step forward, place a hand on Belron's shoulder. They're looking to you for guidance. Calm yourself.
I sigh a little bit, and I try to like collect myself. I say, we have a caravan a little bit down the road. Why don't you join us? I'm sure there's food and shelter for you.
Says yes.
We hope to escort everyone to Baldur's Gate.
While
Yes,
this conversation is going on, War is gonna like elbow Ignis and say, "Dude, they've got a big kitchen in there if you wanted to cook."
says yes. I think
For the big kitchen, you said?
I think this would be a good idea to help the caravan to Baldur's Gate. I can help keep spirits alive and rally people together. You are all fine, capable warriors. I can see it'll be good to stick together and band together as we make our way out of this nightmare.
Can your husband walk?
Yes, I think I can. Thank you. As he kind of stumbles to his feet, and you notice he like stumbles to his feet and he tries to take a couple steps, and then he like falls down onto the ground and falls over. He says, "Oh, maybe I might need a little bit of help, actually."
Yeah. I grab him and try and help him along.
Yeah,
So if you'll help him, I'll help her since her leg was still injured.
yeah, absolutely. And she says, "Yes, thank you for helping me, helping one get to safety. This is a dire time. I was a trader, a traveling furrier and an herbalist passing through, and I do have a couple of wares left in the." And she kind of turns to the barn and says, "Well, I did, at least. Never mind, I was going to offer you some sort of reward, but all of my belongings were in there," as she points to the barn.
Can you whistle and get your horses back? Because that would be helpful. We could put you guys on horses.
She says, "Well, if somebody could go ahead and grab the horses, they must be long gone by now. I'm not sure that we'll catch up to them. Is anybody fast enough to catch up with a galloping horse?"
Do we know how fast they would be moving technically? Because they're probably way faster than us.
Yeah, they would be a lot faster than you. You don't think that you'd be able
Yeah,
to catch up to them?
Nope.
I guess we should set back for the convoy.
One more level, I might be fast enough.
Mhm.
Okay.
Craggle's gonna have a moment where the last well went really well. Got it? Get it? And he's gonna look down this well.
bro.
He's gonna look down this well.
Oh, and all the craziness, I never even noticed that.
Yeah, so you look down that well, and similar to what War saw, it is an empty, dry well.
Oh, that's right. War
yeah.
already looked in it. Yeah, she looked for water. I forgot about that. Okay, never mind.
Did we check anything over at this? Like, is this a house over here as well?
Yes, it is a house over there. It looks like it's been long abandoned.
Okay, so we'll just carry and help these people back to the convoy.
Awesome. So, it does take you a bit longer, an hour and a half or so, to get, you know, back to the caravan, with everybody else hobbled and moving at a slower pace with your help. But you are able to do that. As we move over here to the caravan. And you see Vasha and Segrin will move this way together, and Hasterine will kind of limp over here to the side and hang out by this set of rocks as she sits down and tends to her leg. Vasha comes over here and meets up with Goran, and Goran says, "Ah, it's nice to see you again, Vasha." She says, "Yes, you as well, Goran. How was, well, I guess I shouldn't ask how your trip has been so far. Obviously, it's gone quite poorly, hasn't it? But we are all in this together, and we must remember that. And together, despite our differences, we can work through this and get to where we need to go."
I ask Ray if she has any more potions left.
Yeah, and Rhea says, "Unfortunately, I have already used all of my magical healing that I have. But I do know that Dara and Goran are priests of Ilmater. They do have healing magic. So if it is healing that you need," as she looks around and says, "It's quite clear that you do. Dara and Goran should be able to assist you with that. I believe they still have some spells left."
I'll nod and limp over there while other people roleplay.
I'll probably just inform Rhea of like what happened while we were at the house. She's a Hell Rider as well, right?
She is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I would inform her of like what happened when we were at the inn, and just kind of fill her in.
So, these blubbery creatures, you say, there were how many of them?
At least 4 or 5
A dozen.
that we fought, but there was most
like 10
likely
for a while.
more. There were 10. Well,
There was a ton, yeah.
Yeah, I almost died.
I only saw 5,
And you,
but yeah, there were 10.
and how did they come about? Did you find out? Were there any witnesses to did they just appear? Did they come from El Terrell? How did they get to be there?
They were there already when we got there, and these people didn't really seem to know where they came from. But, I mean, they seemed like fiends, right?
Yes, they sound like lemurs to me.
Lemur. Isn't that like some kind of like rodent, a marsupial or something?
And she says, no, a lemur arises when a mortal soul is twisted by evil and banished to the 9 hells for eternity. They are the lowest type of devil. They're repugnant, shapeless creatures. And they're doomed to suffer torment until they're promoted to a higher form of devil. The fact that there are lemurs here are astounding, and it sounds like you said that, when you came across cultists of Zaria?
Yes.
Yep.
This is
That was a few hours ago, though. But yeah.
this is dire indeed. Dire indeed. We have devils raiding towns, cultists of Zariel trying to summon more devils in the fall. This all has to tie in together. What could the infernal legions of the nine hells? How? I don't understand. I need time to think. I'm sorry, Belron. I'm losing my thoughts in my words. This is all so much to take in. We must get to Baldur's Gate, or at least to Fort Morning Lord. Maybe someone in Fort Morning Lord will have a better idea of what's going on.
Right. Is that, how far away is that? Is that like a day's ride?
Yeah, you would know that Fort Morning Lord is only a day's, about 2 days it would take the caravan, so it's like a day and a half. So they'd probably have to do a full day of traveling towards Baldur's Gate, and then on that second day they would probably pass by Fort Morning Lord. And I'm trying to bring it up
Gotcha.
real quick for you. But if you go to the Sword Coast map, you can kind of see Fort Morning Lord on there. And I am going to do this. You should all be able to see the little icon on Fort Morning Lord.
If you go to bookmarks, yeah.
Yeah, go to bookmarks and you'll see the little icon. You can double click it to kind of bring up a little blurb, which would be common knowledge for anybody who's in this area from Baldur's Gate or from El Turel, which all of you are. So basically it's a keep, that's like a day and a half from journey from El Turel, and 18 years ago, the entire garrison of paladins disappeared overnight, and the main gate of the fort was fused shut. So the High Observer, Thavius Krieg, ordered that no one was allowed to enter the fort, because he was scared that there would be some sort of unknown evil that might escape. So he ordered it sealed off from everybody until they could figure out what happened to this garrison and all the paladins that just clearly disappeared. In its place, an encampment called Camp Omaha was established outside of the fort, and paladins of the Order of the Companion, known as Dawnbringers, are in that camp, and they guard. They have like a permanent station there, and they guard basically the fort from people coming in or anything getting out, really.
Interesting.
Ominous.
But Rhea says Fort Morning Lord is on our way to Baldur's Gate. We'll end up passing by there anyway. I imagine there will be plenty of others who flock to the Dawnbringers to find some sort of refuge or find answers, and maybe they had answers for what is going on here. Maybe they saw something that we didn't have a different perspective. We'll definitely have to talk to Jan Edelgard on our way to when we reach Fort Morning Lord and see what he has to say.
Let's hope they're not all dead already.
We can pray.
I will actually start doing that.
Okay, sounds good.
Kind of come over here and start saying a little jingle.
DM, did I find what I was looking for?
Say again, War.
Did I find what I was looking for?
What were you looking for? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, I sent it as a DM and in Discord. I am not yet mastered the whisper.
Let me look.
That.
Correct.
Yes, you can absolutely find what you're looking for.
Okay. So then, upon entering the camp and listening to everyone, after everyone's had their conversation, people are getting ready to settle down, Ward's going to attempt to make one more pass at, I don't even remember her name now.
Just hover over her.
Say again?
Hover over her. Her name will show.
Oh. Flawless. And offer her a flower that was found at the cabin and the food that she stole from the pantry.
Give me a a charisma check or a persuasion check as you try to woo Valis.
Yes!
So, describe to me in character, what exactly you say.
So after listening to everyone's conversation, Ward gets up and pops out the flower from underneath her cape and says, as we were rescuing these people, Ward thought of you. And to help make sure that your travel goes smoothly, I've brought you some food and some more rations that will hopefully help you and the smithy make this trek more smooth, more bearable.
She reaches out and takes the flower and puts it behind her ear, and you can see her kind of give a slight shrug, a flirty shrug towards you, and you can tell, the food definitely goes a long way because she's definitely famished. Everybody here seems famished. It's been a long day. Nobody's really eaten a good meal. So she takes the food and she says, "Thank you, War." And she clicks when she speaks. I will cherish this flower very, very dearly and near to my heart. This is an incredible gift.
So Ward tries to hide her smile and then goes back to pet the goat and sit with the goat and says, I hope you have a good evening.
Says, I will, and I hope you have a good evening as well. Please don't be a stranger. War, my tent is right over there.
So the only other thing that I would like to do personally, I wanted to go talk to Ipan real quick.
Sounds good. And what do you say to Ipan?
I was just gonna ask, Ipan, you wouldn't happen to have white paint and a block of wood extra, do you?
She says, "Oh, white paint and a block of wood. White paint and a block of wood. Well, I've cataloged all the supplies here. Let me go check." And she'll move over here to the back of the caravan and she'll grab a clipboard and she'll start furiously looking through her clipboard as she goes through various pieces of parchment. Say white block. No, white paint and a block. Oh, what did you need again?
And just a reminder, white paint, and a block of wood, so like yay big. And I'll show my hand. It's like 4 or 5 inches thick, and then like a foot by a foot.
This is white paint and a block of wood. Yes, I think I can spare that. And she'll, jump into the cart here, and you'll hear her rummaging around as she continues to look for what you need. And Pal says, "What do you need that for, Igvis?"
I'll show it for you when I have it finished.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a surprise. We love surprises. I think Iplin really likes surprises, doesn't she? And as he says that, he like shakes his head like no, like very wide-eyed, like mimes no, like he knows it's a no, but he's just saying that to get a reaction out of her. She doesn't. She really likes that, doesn't she? And Ippin, you just hear her talk from inside the cart. I hate surprises. Um, but she jumps back out and she gives you what you need as she hands you some white paint and a block. And Pal says, "I can't wait to really see what you're gonna make, Igvis. I'm sure it's going to be great." And as he says that, he shakes his head as he looks to Ippin and mouths to her, "I don't think so."
It'll be something, pal. And
I-
then I'll walk over here, collect a dagger, and then walk over here.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm just walking around. Don't mind me.
Well, we have such an artistic bunch, don't we, Ippin? Can you just be quiet, pal, just for once?
And I know this is a mistake, but I'm also going to ask Billiam for a little bit of the extra ink since we did collect more materials than we needed. I just need a little bit of his ink.
You, and he looks at you as he's furiously writing in his journal, and you ask for this ink, and he says, my Inca, you want my ink? I cannot give you said ink. It is too precious to me. It is it is my lifeblood, and it is a very special ink, and I already pay for it. I give you the gold, for the ink, and it just it's just not something that I can do. You try to take the lifeblood of a poet, you might as well stab a dagger through my heart.
Convenient. I have one. But you paid for the paper, not for the ink.
War yells, "Yep," to make
Oh.
sure that
Are you
Billiam can hear that.
Are you trying to, you mentioned the dagger. Are you trying
He
to
mentioned the dagger. I'm
intimidate
not gonna have
him?
one.
Or are you trying to persuade him? What direction
We'll
are
do
we taking?
intimidation. We'll do intimidation.
Alright, as you brandish the dagger, go ahead and roll me an intimidate.
Oh god. Why are my rolls so bad?
He says, you would sit here and pull out a dagger in front of me. Dara, Gordon, this one, he threatens me with the dagger if I no give him ink. And, you say, Goran kind of walks over with Clyde and says, "What seems to be the problem here?"
We got him ink. I just want a little bit for my project.
Says, "Well,
That's all.
Igvis, this is a very tough time, and it is his ink at the moment. It is in his possession. I think it's best," and he kind of looks at you as you have the dagger out, and he sees the dagger. "I think it's best that we maybe calm down a moment, and if you need something, maybe Ippin will have supplies for you that you can borrow, and if not, I think it best to leave Billiam to his supplies, and maybe we can find you something along the way. We all have to work together here."
It's fine. It's not that important. And I'll walk over to her and ask for her help in making my project. And then that'll be the end of my whole spiel.
Okay. And so you make your way over to Hasterine, and she's sitting there, kind of tending to the wound in her leg. And so what do you say? How do you ask for her help? What are you asking for?
Well, first checking on her, making sure she's good, and then afterward, just saying I have an idea for something that's gonna help me do my job better. And I was hoping you're probably a better craftsman than I am, and I was hoping you could help me make it.
Make something, you say. One might be able to help. what is it that you need of me on this fine day?
So this is gonna be a surprise for the party. So I'll I'll whisper it to her specifically. So I guess I'll whisper it to you.
Sounds good. And while that's going on, anybody else want to do it or say anything else?
I'll approach Dara and kind of limp up, holding my side, cough a little bit, and Dara, I hate to bother, but do you have any healing spells available?
She says, "Yes, I do. Hold one moment, and I should be able to take care of some of those wounds for you." And she will cast Cure Wounds on you for that plus 2.
Nice. Okay. And I will give my typical bow, thank you, and stand up straight and kind of stretch my wings out, feeling better, and I'll probably go over and approach Rhea.
Okay.
Yeah, and just sent you the details of what I'm making.
Rhea, I overheard you talking to Belron, and I can't shake the feeling that it's all connected. We were hunting for Cult of the Dragon, and I believe you know who they worship. And he'll look to her for approval.
And she nods.
And now we have cultists of Zariel summoning fiends and lower fiends showing up and attacking in the material plane. This has to all be connected. And what of the Hell Riders? Where are the vast majority of them? Were they in town?
Says a vast majority of the Hell Riders were in El Terrell.
Well, they'll be of no use to us now. Do we know where any small garrisons might be?
She says, yes, well, there is Camp Omaha, which is a day and a half ride towards Baldur's Gate. We'll have to pass there. And I do know that Star Jan Edelgard will leads that encampment. You know, if they survive, they were well outside the city, obviously. You know, there's no reason to suspect that anything has necessarily happened to them. We might be able to find refugees there, link up, or find more information about what's going on, and gain some insight.
All right. Well, that's where we were headed anyway, but this isn't over.
And she says, you know, if any other Hell Riders did survive, you know, I imagine they would continue to make their way west as well. So I think continuing west towards Baldur's Gate just makes the most sense, so that we can link up with any other refugees and other Hell Riders and just continue to find out what other people know and piece this puzzle together.
How sure are you that we'll be welcome at Baldur's Gate? It's not exactly the shining jewel of the Sword Coast.
Well, you're from Baldur's Gate, so, you know, you should know better than anyone how they welcome outsiders, or, she kind of pauses for a moment, people of my kind. You know, Hell Riders and the Flaming Fist don't necessarily see eye to eye or necessarily on the best of terms, but at the end of the day, helping us, I think, is within Baldur's Gate's best. I think it's best for Baldur's Gate to help us in the Flaming Fist, given that we all are in the Lord's Alliance, and Older Ravengard was on a diplomatic mission to El Terrell, so it is possible that there may be some sympathy there. But To be honest, it is, kind of our only choice at the moment, given that Baldur's Gate is one of the biggest cities on the Lost Coast and has vast resources, and we currently have none.
I understand older Ravengard wasn't exactly pleased to be on this mission. I imagine there might be some bad blood there, but I wasn't privy to that info.
Well, for a long time, Elturel and Baldur's Gate have had bad blood. We have been, Elturel lies along the River Chianthar, and trade comes down from the east into Baldur's Gate, and of course, Elturel hasn't necessarily seen Baldur's Gate as the most holiest of places, one that sheds goodness and righteousness like our holy city does. And in return, we do use, of course, trade embargoes upon Baldur's Gate as a means to
Punish. No, in character, he'll finish punish.
She'll pause. Whatever words you might like to use, would we try to sway them against, taking aggressive actions against the less fortunate by imposing those trade embargoes on them with items shipping downriver. So we have long had a tenuous relationship with Baldur's Gate, but as members of the Lord's Alliance, we obviously have common enemies and nations to the south. And, there is goals in working together, and some commonalities that we can reach. So I imagine, a lot of, and again, a lot of this is also way above my station. But I imagine older Ravengard saw some benefits to this alliance and, getting rid of the tenuous relationship between our peoples.
I've never seen political intrigue be for the greater good myself, but maybe you're right. And I'll go ahead and start walking towards somewhere comfortable to sit.
Sounds good.
Alright, real quick, you saw the message I sent you, and then I asked, is this something you can help me with? And I'll ask Hesterine.
I'll also give Manny one of my bottles of ink. I have 2.
Sounds good. So I guess specifically you want her help in creating that?
Yes,
Okay.
because I figure she's a better craftsman than I am.
Gotcha. Okay. And she says, yes, this is something one can do. Given enough time and maybe some glue, I think that I could do this. Yes, indeed. Just let me get to work and follow my lead.
Yeah, and then I'll try and give her more details as to what I actually want it to look like, but I'll take care of that all later.
And you notice that as you talk to her a little bit more and more, she speaks in kind of like these cryptic rhymes. It's very clear. She's almost like a out of character Dr. Seuss person. She speaks in rhymes, and it just hits you, and you're like, what? But yeah, she'll
I can get
definitely
used
help
to
you.
it. It's fine.
She will
Okay.
help you.
I want to talk to Pal. I want to see if he can get me some mead or ale or something.
Says, well, I would really love to help you with that, Hone. You're just kind of like a swell guy, and I think that mead would be great, and I'd love to have a drink with you, absolutely. But I'm not necessarily in possession of a lot of alcohol right now, But I hear that Wellham over there and Gordrick fancy a drink, and you know, they might be able to help you out with that. If they do, you know, you should definitely bring some back over here because I would love to have a drink with you.
Okay, I'll go talk to them and let's see what I can do. Right, thanks.
No problem, Honed. I'm happy I can help.
Hello, Wellum. You guys have any mead or ale?
And as you say that, you actually notice that they are currently drinking from 2 large mugs, and Gordrick is laughing. Aye, yes, we have some mead, some ale. Would you like to drink with us?
Yes, I would. Do you guys have any extra you could share with my friends?
Absolutely, we can share. Yes, absolutely. Please, pour this man a glass. Yes, absolutely. And Willem says, absolutely. I would be happy if you would drink with us, Honed.
All right, perfect. Do you guys mind if Pal comes over for a drink?
And you see, you know, Willem kind of looks over at Pal, and Pal sees Willem looking at him, and you can see him like vigorously shaking his head up and down, you know, because is like kind of privy to this conversation, being only like 10-15 feet away, you know. And Willem sighs and says, yes, I suppose that Pal would be invited as well.
Okay, I'll wave Pal over and I'll wave over all my friends for a drink.
Sounds good. And anybody who does come over, I mean, who comes over? You all see Honed basically wave you all over for a drink.
I could use a drink.
I'm a little distracted, so unless she's going, I'm probably not going.
War follows the goat wherever the goat goes. So if the goat goes for a drink, then War will follow.
The goat will actually come back down here with Goran and hang out with Dara. Neil.
Well, we got our drinks.
Neil's just hanging out, trying to calm down after the fight. So he wants to just chill and be alone.
All right. To hell of a fucking day, guys. And I'm only sure it's going to get a lot worse than what today was. And I take a big gulp of my drink.
I reckon that's true. Ha well said, Honed. And Gordrick will take a drink as well in a big chug. And Willem says, yes, I imagine things would get quite worse. Everything is looking down right now. Pal says, you're just a swell guy, Honed. You know, things can't get too much worse while you're here, and especially while this guy's here. And he turns and points to Craggle, because Craggle's just like a really swell guy. You know, he's like just an awesome, awesome fella.
Craggle goes, shh.
He says, oh, right, that's right, I forgot, you know, the being quiet thing. And he'll take a big swig of his ale, and you notice that Pal is most definitely a lightweight, because he takes a big swig of that ale and immediately starts to stumble, and he says, I'm not really feeling quite well. I think I'm gonna take a quick nap over there.
Great idea, pal.
And he kind of stumbles that way. And Gordrick laughs. Seems like Pal can't hold a drink, Connie. Willem says, he does seem to be unable to hold his liquor.
Poor guy, and I'll take a swig.
He's not.
No, go ahead. Were you gonna say something, Nate?
Pal's not that bad, you guys. He's just a little different. We're all a little quirky in our own little ways.
If you
sure.
say so, Honed.
And I'll actually take an opportunity to like force cheers honed. I don't know if he like puts his glass out, but I'll just throw my glass up to his and be like,
Yeah, I'll cheers
to
you.
survival.
To survival with the clink.
And I'll take another swig.
Awesome. As the so as you're all here conversing and doing your own little things, you know, night starts to fall, and it gets dark, and you see that people start to gather their stuff, and are making camp. So, is there anything else that you would want to do tonight specifically before going to sleep? As people start to head in, you see Volus, walks off over here as, her camp is a little farther away out that way. Billiam takes to sleeping inside this cart here. Pal and Ipum also have a tent that's off in this direction, and Wellham and Godric are both over here as people just start to head in for the night. Vasha stays up a little bit later with Segrin around the fire, and Dara and Gorin continue to chat for a little before also eventually heading off to tents that they have outside of the...
I'll first of all offer first watch, and to Vasha, these people all spoke very highly of you. They look to you as a leader. Seems odd for someone of your stature to be running an inn.
She says, yes, well, it's quite a long story, but my family is minor Eltegard nobility in the halls, and you wouldn't, recognize their name at all. It says they are a minor Eltegard nobility, and I kind of fell out of favor with my father. You see, I had 3 older brothers, all who were before me to inherit the family fortune, but well, I don't wish to dwell too much on it. Either way, people do know of my name, and I try to make my own name for myself these days.
Well, now would be a great time to do that. I imagine these people will be looking to you often. And I'll hold up my glass, and I'll be like, to forging your own path, and I'll swig the very last drops of my ale.
And she says, in the light of the companion.
And I'll freeze for a second, hold my tongue, but...
Well, if you are willing to take the first watch, I can take the second watch. I would be happy to do so. I could use a little bit of rest here before I take watch. I was going to take first watch, but as long as you are offering, that would be very helpful. I'd appreciate it.
Dar's spells put me back in shape, so I'm happy to take the first watch.
Or offers to keep Craggle company during the first watch, but she also does it so she can keep an eye on Volus's camp.
All right, awesome. And with that, Vasha will take Segrin, and they will head off. Rhea says, do you need company, Craggle, during the first watch? You and War, would you benefit from my company? I am quite well rested. I haven't been nearly in the skirmishes that you have today.
Well, the more eyes watching, I'd hate to have anything sneak up on us in the night, so you're welcome to it.
I shall stay up with you then.
Neil, Hone, Belron, you guys want to organize third and fourth watch?
I'm cool with third watch.
I can take up the fourth.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take wherever needs extra help.
I'll take second with Vasha.
Okay.
Sounds
Oh yeah, Nigvis, you weren't over here, so I didn't see your name. So
Yep. I was sitting with my person over here.
yeah, working on arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts, yeah.
All right. So you guys organize your watches. So you have Craggle and War and Rhea all up during the first watch. During the second watch, you have Igvis, Vasha. During the third watch is who Neil and.
You can put me on that one if there was no one there.
Neil and Belrond on the third watch. And Honed on the fourth. Is if I got all that right.
Yep.
All right. So you go through the night and you take your watches, and nothing of note happens during the day. The first watch is done, and Vasha comes back with Segrin for watch number 2, along with Igvis, as Rhea and the rest of you head off to get some sleep. And then eventually that watch ends, and the others come along, and you're all able to get a long rest in. So you can go ahead and long rest on your character sheets, which I know you have been waiting to do for a very, very long time. And also, you can go ahead and level as morning comes.
Yeah.
So leveling up for fighters seems like a very basic step, or at least at level 2.
The level
There was
of
almost-
monk is also very basic.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. It is 1:11. So we did play for an extra hour. I wanted to give us extra time because I know we had all the trouble with the connection there earlier. But I think this would be a good place to call it here. As morning comes, you all level up. You all get your long rest, and then we can take it from here next Friday.
Sweet. Awesome session, DM.